get ready with its next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. State House Detective Darienzo.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Okay, raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good morning. Please state your name and spell it for the record.
Sure. It's Anthony Darienzo. Last name is D apostrophe, capital A, R-I-E-N-Z-O.
Thank you, sir. Where are you currently employed?
Gwinnett County Police Department,
How long have you been with GCPD?
15 years.
What is your current position there?
Currently, I'm in the computer forensics lab.
Is that what you've always done, or have you done other things?
No, I worked the road in the Central Precinct for 8 years. Then I transitioned to the Detectives Division and worked commercial and residential burglaries for 2.5 years. While I was in burglary, I got certified on cell phones, and then I transitioned over to the computer lab.
In your current role in the computer forensic lab, what are your job responsibilities?
I'd say like 95% of what we do in the computer forensics lab are cell phone downloads. That's the most requested evidence that we process. We also process computers or anything that's digital in nature. So digital video recorders or hard drives, little thumb drives you use, or the little micro SD cards you put into your phone or your camera, stuff like that. So if it's digital, we process it, but the majority of what I do is cell phones.
What type of education and training did you receive to be a police officer?
Went through Gwinnett County. They had their police academy, which is governed by Georgia Post, the Georgia Peace Officers Standards and Training Council. Got my basic mandate through Georgia Post, and then through the years, worked my way up to an advanced certificate.
An advanced certificate for computer forensics?
No, that's just for policing. But when I mentioned I transitioned over to the computer lab, when I was in burglary, I got certified through a company called Celebrite. Celebrite's one of the biggest vendors in cell phone forensics. They've been around for 20-something years. You probably had one of your phones interact with a Celebrite device without even knowing it. If you remember back in the day with the little flip phones and kind of before the smartphones, you'd have your old phone and then you get a new phone from AT&T, Sprint, whoever you had. And then you'd have all your contacts and everything on your old phone, and then you'd have the brand new phone. Well, if you asked whatever employee that was working the store you went to, they would take your old phone and hook it up to a Celebrite device that would then transfer everything from the old phone to the new phone. So I got my certification in 2019. It's called a CCO, a Celebrite Certified Operator, and then a CCPA, which is a Celebrite Certified Physical Analyst. That's two that I got through Celebrite. That's 2019, and then every 2 years you have to recertify, which I'm currently up to date.
Can you tell us what a cell phone extraction is?
Sure. Cell phone extractions are, they go by many names, cell phone dumps, extractions, downloads. What that is if you take a phone, we hook it up to a high-powered computer that uses the Celebrite technology, or we use other tools in our office, like Gray Key through Magnet. And these tools allow the phone to gain a connection with the technology. The technology is able to look at the phone and see what's on the phone, and then download. We can download what's on there. Once you have the raw data that comes off the phone, it has to be processed. So that data then gets processed through Celebrite's physical analyzer, which takes the raw data and converts it to what a human can actually use, right? Because raw data is not going to do any good. So you have to process it. Once we process that, I'm able to give a detective what's called a reader file, which they can then go through and actually see what is on the cell phone.
Are there different types of cell phone extractions?
There are. Some of the more common ones are logical extractions. That kind of targets what you would see if you just looked at your phone, right? You can see your call log, you can see your text messages, pictures, videos. Then there's one called a full file system, which gets the stuff that you can't see on your phone, but it supports the stuff that you do see on your phone, so you gain more information. And then past that one, there's physical extractions. Physical extraction would get all the binary code off of a phone because it's digital in nature. The only difference that it would get you is stuff that really doesn't do an investigator any good because it's what makes the phone work. So if you have a Samsung phone, for instance, it would be Samsung's technology on there that would be included in the physical that you wouldn't get in a full file.
So you keep saying that you get data off the phone. When you say data, what types of things are you referring to?
Sure. So you would get call logs, you'd get contacts, pictures, videos, geographical locations, like location data. You can get, if somebody searches something in a phone through a browser, you can get browser history. You can get general searches. If you just type in a search in a phone, you can get that. Pretty much everything that you would see on your phone, we can get off that, plus the databases that support it.
Can you get text messages off of phone extraction?
Yes, you can.
Are you able to see settings changes that may have been made in a phone when you do the extraction?
You can.
Are you able to see data that may have been deleted from the phone?
Yes, you can.
Can you explain to us how cell phones handle data that's been deleted when a user deletes something?
Sure. So if you have something on your phone and you delete it, you're telling the operating system or that phone to mark that item for deletion. Okay, so it will drop off from what you see, but it can still be there if that data is not overwritten yet. Because when you delete it, you're telling the operating system, I no longer need this, and it becomes unallocated, or it's not being tied down for use. So it frees up space on the phone, so if you get a picture or you take a video, the phone can then take that new data and put it where you mark something for deletion. Because these phones don't have infinite space, so they have to make use of the storage. So if you mark something for deletion, it can be there until something overwrites that data.
And are you able to recover what's been marked for deletion if it hasn't been overwritten?
Yes, you can.
Are you able to tell in the software you use to do phone extractions when an item has been marked for deletion?
Yes, sir.
How is that denoted in the software?
Sure. So that reader file that I was telling you, that is the goal of what we give the detective to review. It has columns, so based on what you select through the reader, it's kind of like an interactive program. So if you go in there and you click text messages, it will show you text messages in the threads, right? A lot of us have very long threads in our phones of conversations that have been going on for a while. When you look at the text thread, you can tell if it was deleted because it'll have a red X in a column. So if it shows up with a red X, you know it was deleted.
Now I'm going to turn your attention specifically to GCPD case number 210095231. Did you receive a request for a cell phone extraction in that case?
Yes, sir, I did.
How many phones were you requested to extract?
2.
What type of phones were they?
Apple iPhone 11s.
Who requested the extraction be done?
Detective Sorensen?
As part of your extraction process, do you take photos of the phones?
Yes, sir, I do.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may. Feel free to move about the courtroom.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to show you what has been previously marked as State's Exhibits 10 through 19. These have also been shown to defense counsel. Look through those, and I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you recognize those?
I do, yes, sir.
What are they?
These are photographs that I took in the lab at the time that I performed these extractions.
Are those fair and accurate copies of the photos you took?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this time the state moves to tender State's Exhibits 10 through 19 into evidence. No objection.
State's Exhibits 10 through 19 admitted without objection.
May I publish State's Exhibits 10 through 19 now?
You may.
I'm going to throw these up on the TV behind you there. And we're just going to go through them one by one and have you tell us what we're looking at. Once I fix the click share. New plan. Can you switch us to the HDMI input?
I can try.
There we go. Okay, we are looking at State's Exhibit number 10. Tell us about this photo and why you take it.
Anytime that evidence comes into our lab, we always take pictures with a measuring device. You see the ruler? That's one of the 2 phones that came in. This is a picture that I took. The reason we do this is to document the way that the evidence comes into us. So we'll note if the phone was on or off, if it's cracked, if it has a SIM card in it, if it was wrapped in aluminum foil, like that's what you see right there, et cetera. So we do that for every piece of evidence that comes into our lab.
Why would it be wrapped in aluminum foil?
The aluminum foil acts as a Faraday type device. You may have heard of them. It's anything that shields a device from cellular communication. So We have Faraday bags. We also have aluminum foil. Aluminum foil, if you wrap it well enough, does just as good a job of shielding a phone from interacting with the cellular network.
This is states 11. Is that just a closer-up picture of the front of the phone?
Yes, correct.
And what's in states 12?
This is just the back. I always do front and back, and this just shows the blue case that this one came in.
This should be states 13.
Yep, same thing. I always open the evidence up to show the condition of everything.
All right, and what are we seeing in states 14?
So right here, you'll see that's the SIM card. And then right here, this is the SIM tray. So this ejects from the side of the phone. And then the significance of this picture right here, as you can tell right here, this is the IMEI number.
Let me see if I can zoom in on that real quick.
What did you refer to that again, sir?
IMEI, International Mobile Equipment Identifier, is what it stands for.
What is an IMEI number?
It's just a unique number that's assigned to that phone.
And we see here that it's stamped on the SIM card tray, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are IMEI numbers unique to each individual phone?
They are.
Now, this would be States Exhibit 15. What are we seeing here?
Same thing. This is the second phone that came into the lab. Same thing. It's the measuring device. That's the area that I took the pictures at. There's the phone with the front shown, and then there's the aluminum foil.
States Exhibit 16, picture of the front of the phone.
Yes, sir.
States Exhibit 17.
This is just the back, just indicating the case that it came in.
And States 18.
Same thing. Take it out of the case to show the condition. Sometimes we see phones come in that the back is very cracked or damaged in nature.
Can you move the microphone on your right shoulder?
This one.
Yep, thank you. Okay. And then this is States 19.
There's the SIM card, and there's the SIM tray with the IMEI number that is etched into it.
And when you pulled the SIM trays from these phones, did the IMEI numbers on the SIM trays match the IMEI number that was found in the software of the phone?
They did.
Was a search warrant obtained for these two phones?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to admit States Exhibit number 20 for record only. This is a certified copy of the search warrant. It was also previously shown to defense counsel.
No objection for record purposes only, Judge.
Admitted without objection.
I am handing you States Exhibit number 20 so that you can look at it. All right. Is that the search warrant that was obtained in this case for these two cell phones?
Yes, sir, it was.
And were you able to perform extractions on these phones?
Yes.
What software did you use to do the extractions in this case?
Both phones were hooked up to Gray Key. Gray Key gets the data off the phone, and then it is processed with the Celebrite tool called Physical Analyzer.
What type of extraction did you do on these phones?
For both phones, it's known as a full file system extraction.
Does that mean you were able to get everything off the phone?
Yes, everything that's usable in an investigation.
Once you do an extraction, what do you do with the data that you pull off the phone?
So once we get the raw data, it's parsed with that tool, Celebrite Physical Analyzer. I generate what's known as a Celebrite reader file. The reader file is what's usable by an investigator. I just make sure that the data wasn't corrupted at any point. Computers, they mess up sometimes, so we just make sure everything transferred the way that it should have. And once I'm satisfied that the reader file is there in its true form and hasn't been corrupted, we'll move that data over to a drive for the detective that requested it.
Like a flash drive?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you did in this case?
Yes.
I'm handing you what we marked as States Exhibit 21. Also shown to defense counsel.
Okay.
Do you recognize States Exhibit number 21?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is that?
This is the contents of that Celebrite reader file that I mentioned. This is something that I put both of those on this drive and then signed for it.
And did you review that drive before today?
Yes, sir.
Is the data contained on that flash drive a fair and accurate copy of the data you extracted from the phones?
Yes, it is.
Has it been altered in any way?
No.
Your Honor, this time the state moves to tender States Exhibit number 21 into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
Admitted without objection.
Once you do an extraction, does the data that you've retrieved from the phone tell you who the phone belongs to?
Yes.
How does that work? How do you do it?
Gray Key will give a report, and then also Celebrite can report it too in the beginning part of that reader file.
What type of information does it give you at the beginning of the reader file to indicate who the phone belongs to?
It can tell you the IMEI number, it can tell you the owner name, it can tell you different accounts associated with the phone, it can tell you Apple IDs, emails, etc.
Okay. And are those things that you would put in a report that you make?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us in this particular case who these two phones belong to?
Sure. The first States Exhibit 10 through 14, those pictures, The IMEI number that ends in 4139 was Celeste Owens' phone. That's the one with the blue case. And then the second phone, States Exhibits 15 through 19, the phone that was in the black case with the IMEI that ends in 8850 was Brittany Hall's phone.
And did you create a report detailing your involvement in this case?
Yes, I did.
On State's Exhibit number 21, is that the extraction for both phones?
Yes, it is.
I believe that's all I have.
Mr. Green.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Detective Owens. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. Well, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. Just a couple of follow-up questions, sir. You mentioned file being corrupted, or the word corrupted. Can you elaborate on what you meant by that?
Sometimes if something interrupts a computer's process, you can have like if that reader file was corrupted, it wouldn't open. So if the process goes according to plan, or the physical analyzer generates the reader file correctly, and you open it and you can verify the data's there, then you know it's not corrupted.
As far as you can recall, in regards to this particular case, did you have any issues with opening any file or the files being corrupted?
No, sir.
And you also mentioned a Faraday bag.
Yes.
Can you just explain to the jury what a Faraday bag is?
Sure. A Faraday bag, it's basically it's a bag that kind of has, well, there's many different types out there, but it's a bag that is, its main goal is to shield the device from communicating with a network. So usually there's some kind of metal involved, because metal will block it, like the aluminum, but that's what a Faraday bag is. There's Faraday cages, there's Faraday rooms, et cetera. The goal is to shield that device.
What's the danger or damage or issue if the device is not shielded?
The main concern that we have is a remote wipe.
Which is?
So a user could go in through Apple's settings and initiate a remote wipe command, which if that device is connected to the network and the user sends a command to do that, the data can reset. You can reset a phone to its factory state and then lose everything that's on the phone.
So potentially all data could be wiped, lost.
Yes, correct.
If data is not deleted from the phone, does it stay on the phone indefinitely? Or is there a point where, I guess the phone is full, because phones only, as you said, have limited capability for storage purposes?
Yes. There's different types of data that reside on the phone. So most of the data I think that you're referring to, like text messages and things like that.
Text messages, videos?
Yeah, they'll stay on there unless they're deleted, yes.
Okay. Indefinitely, right?
Yes.
And if a storage on a phone, I assume, is full, it can't accept more data? Or can it?
There, you can have, I've seen it before where Apple uses compression, so they will compress data on a phone to try to make it where you're not out of a phone, so to speak. For instance, we've seen phones come in that are 64 gig capacity, and when we've downloaded them, we've had over 200 gigs come off the phone, because what it's doing is it's unzipping data that was compressed.
Understood. Lastly, when you're pulling the data from the phone, I would assume, obviously, you cannot tell who specifically is using the phone at any given period of time. What person is physically using the phone, right?
When I'm downloading it,
Right. In terms of your investigation and pulling data off of the phone, it'll give you videos, it'll give you text messages, but it won't give you who at that particular moment in time was using the phone.
not necessarily.
Can you
Like,
elaborate?
I'm trying to figure out how to make this make the most sense. So you're trying to say like who is physically holding a phone at a time, or?
Physically using it at any given time.
Okay, yeah,
Extract that information.
No.
I mean, you can extract who the phone belongs to, phone numbers, emails, as you've indicated, and so forth, but at any given time, you cannot state who's physically in possession or using that phone.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a brief follow-up. When you do the extractions and you put them on the flash drive there, you said it's the extraction for both phones, right?
Yes,
Are they separated?
they are.
When you put the flash drive in, can you tell it's two different phones?
Yes,
And so you don't analyze the data, do you? Or no?
we do not.
Is the detective the one who analyzes the data?
That's correct.
The way they're separated, is the detective able to tell which phone extraction he or she is looking at when they're analyzing it?
Yes.
How would they know that?
Well, very clearly, it's in separate folders, and then even when you load the reader file will have identifiers in it, so you know what phone it belongs to.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
No follow-up, Your Honor. Thank you.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You're
Thank you.
excused. Please leave.
You're on a statement call, Sergeant Campbell.
raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Can you please go ahead and state and spell your name for the court?
Sure. Martin Campbell, MartinCampbell.
Very good. And, sir, how are you currently employed?
I'm a sergeant with the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office
All right, Sergeant Campbell, tell us how long you've worked for the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Department,
for 20 years.
and what is your role there today?
So I'm a sergeant over the classifications unit
How long have you held that position?
since February 5th of 2022.
Now, the Classifications Division at the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office, what is that? What do they do?
So classifications is a process of,
Sergeant, can I interrupt you?
Sure.
Ask you to pull that second mic over close to your
This
ear?
one?
Yes.
Okay.
You're just a little soft-spoken, so I want to have both.
I'm sorry, dealing with some congestion this morning.
No worries.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So classifications is a process of gathering information such as someone's height, weight, gender, their race, using that information plus other factors to help determine where someone's going to be housed.
All right, so these are individuals who are currently, who at some point are being housed at the Gwinnett County Detention Center.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this information, how is it helpful to you all?
So that information is helpful in identifying them as well as administrative reasons that we would need that information for housing.
Okay, and is this done for every single individual who comes into the Gwinnett County Detention Center?
Yes,
Male or female?
male or female.
Tell us a little bit about how individuals are numerically classified for purposes of identification.
So when someone comes in, they're assigned a specific and unique ID number
Okay.
that's only given to just them.
And are those numbers auto-generated?
Yes, they are auto-generated by the computer system that we have.
Are any two individuals at the detention center given the exact same number?
No.
Now, when you, in your role as a classifications at the detention center, are you able to review the book-in numbers or the identification numbers associated with the people there?
Yes.
I'm going to show you, Sergeant Campbell, what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 24 and 25. If you could have a look at that for me and tell me what it is that is presented there.
So this is information that tells identifiers such as names, ID numbers, booking numbers, and then as far as the physical descriptions of someone, such as a date of birth, their race, gender, height, weight, hair color, eye color.
Okay, and who is State's Exhibit number 24 associated with?
That exhibit is Miss Hall. First name is Brittany.
And what about State's Exhibit number 25?
This is Miss Owens. First name Celeste.
And can you tell us if those are accurate printouts of the information that would be entered into the system?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, at this time, and is it something you printed out?
This is, yes.
Okay, and do those accurately reflect the bookend information as you recall?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I have previously shown both State's Exhibit 24 and 25 to counsel. The state would move at this time to tender into evidence both of those exhibits.
No objection.
Stage 24 and 25 are admitted without objection.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I would at this time ask to publish those exhibits.
Granted.
Thank you, and if I may please ask the court to change the television setting. I will be using the hard.
It's set.
Thank you very much. All right, we are looking here at State's Exhibit number 24, I believe. Get this to you. Trying to make it a little bit larger for you, but. All right, please explain to the jury what it is that State's Exhibit 24 is actually indicating here.
So State's Exhibit 24 is depicting the identifying information of Miss Brittany Hall to state what the booking number is and the ID number assigned to her, the date she was brought in, as far as physical descriptions, her race, gender, height, weight, hair color, eye color, as well as her date of birth.
All right, now unfortunately the writing is a little bit small. We're unable to make it larger at this time, so would you mind reading out to the court what the bookend number is associated with Brittany Hall?
The booking number for Ms. Hall. Can I use the paper version?
Yes.
It's a little bit closer, I'm
Yes.
sorry. So the booking number is GCSO, which is the initials for Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office, 21JBN, which stands for Jail Booking Number, 022547.
All right, thank you. And if we could look down to the identifying information there for this particular individual, can you tell us what the weight is of this particular Brittany Hall?
On November 22nd of 2021, the weight is 295.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 25, and I'll ask you the same information. Who is this for, and what is the booking number associated here?
State's Exhibit 25 is the information for Ms. Owens. And I'm sorry, you said just indicate the weight?
For now, if you could tell me what the booking number is.
Okay, I'm sorry. GCSO 21 JBN 022460.
And there's obviously a photograph as well that is associated with the individual named Celeste Owens, correct?
Correct.
Right. Now, is there also a weight associated with Celeste Owens?
On November 21st of 2021, the weight was 231.
Thank you very much. Now, I do want to ask you, Sergeant Campbell, how is the weight actually calculated there at the detention center?
So we do use, when someone comes in, we do use information such that's obtained from someone's driver's license. It's an approximate weight. So this information is usually provided to us from the arresting officer.
Okay. And is there a scale that you verify the weight at that time?
There is no scale.
So if someone verbally gives information on their driver's license or at the time that they come in, then it's sort of like the honor system, is that right?
Correct.
Now, are there photographs that are also taken of tattoos on an individual?
There are photographs taken.
Tell us about that process.
So when someone comes in, there are photographs taken. And then at a later date, there's also photographs taken as part of the classification process.
Now, what is, again, the purpose of the photographs of tattoos being taken?
More so just to document the identifying information, that being the tattoo.
Is it fair to say this information that you're gathering is really for the purpose of identifying individuals so that there's no confusion between people?
Correct.
With the information that you gather, which includes all that you talked about as well as the photographs of the tattoos, what is done with that information?
So we upload the information onto a secure database that's for our use, for jail investigations use, gang investigations use.
It's an internal database?
It is.
Is it a secure database?
It is secure.
Or what is the name of the database?
It's a drive on the computers
Okay.
that only certain people have permissions.
And do you have permission to access that drive?
I do.
And are you familiar with the way that that drive works as well?
Yes.
Have you input information to it or uploaded information to it?
Yes.
And do you routinely, as part of your job, access that information also?
Yes.
And that information is housed and kept within that database for the purposes of the detention center only?
Yes.
Now, the photographs of the tattoos that you indicated, is every individual who comes into the detention center at some point, are their tattoos or body markings photographed and documented?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to take a look at what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 22, which consists of 12 pages, as well as State's Exhibit number 23, which consists of 23 pages, both previously shown to defense counsel. Can you just sort of peruse that very quickly and tell me what it is that is noted there?
State's Exhibit 22 is pictures that were taken of Miss Owens showing her tattoos. State's Exhibit 23 is pictures of Miss Hall showing her tattoos.
Okay. And given what you have just explained to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is that in fact an accurate representation of the information that was
Yes.
Any alterations or material changes that you can recall based on your review?
No.
Judge, at this time, the state would move to tender into evidence State's Exhibit number 22 as well as 23. I have shown those to him.
And I've seen the judge, yes, ma'am, no objection.
Admitted without objection.
Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, may I have permission to publish this as well?
You may.
Thank you. All right, Sergeant Campbell, I'm going to show you what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit number 22. Can you kind of walk us through what it is that we're seeing? We'll start with that first page and just keep going, and I'll move along with you.
Okay.
If you, we can, that first page there with the photograph.
Okay,
Is
yes.
that again, you can just talk us briefly through what it is that we're looking at.
So this was a picture of Miss Owens when she was brought in, as far as, and then as well as, her name, her booking number, her ID number, and the date and time.
And I'm going to move along here, and I'll just keep going. If you can just show us what we're looking at here.
Okay. So these are comparison pictures. The top picture represents the picture that was taken when she was brought in, and the bottom picture represents the picture that was taken when she was classified.
Okay, so it's not necessarily on the same day, is that correct?
Correct.
Right. So these are just various different markings on the body of Celeste Owens that were photographed by the detention center.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it says here that's the right cheek, so there is a notification or put on there by the individual indicating what part of the body that the tattoo is located on.
Yes.
And moving on, these are additional photographs, is that correct?
Correct.
So again, the top is initially taken, and then there's a subsequent photograph that is taken for purposes of classification.
Yes.
And these are, as we're going through these, I'm looking at this photograph here that you can see on your screen as part of State's Exhibit number 22 that also denotes that this is something that is classified as a koi fish on the left forearm inside. Who comes up with what it might be?
Sometimes it's asked upon for the person that actually has the tattoo that came in.
To identify.
To identify.
Okay.
And
All right. And then, again, the same two comparison photographs. So are females photographs taken by other females and male photographs taken by male, I guess, sheriff's workers?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let me ask you, as we continue through these photographs, these are all associated only with Celeste Owens, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, these photographs are of the face and the hands for the most part. What if there are no tattoos on specific parts of the body?
So when we're checking someone, classifications is going to get into a little bit more detail than the initial pictures taken when they're first brought in. We get closer underneath clothing, not the intimate areas, but when we're checking someone, we're asking them to take off their shirt, and we're checking the back and the shoulders and the stomach and the legs. And so if there's not a tattoo on a particular part of the body, we don't photograph it.
So in this case, if there are no tattoos of Celeste Owens' legs or the back of her legs, would that note to you that there were no tattoos on those parts of Celeste Owens' body?
Yes,
And if there were, there would have been a photograph taken and compared here.
correct.
All right, I'm going to take you over to State's Exhibit number 23, and I'll come back up, I'm sorry. All right, and who is this profile for?
This profile is for Miss Hall.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is doing funny things, so I'm going to just go back up to the top. And this is for Brittany Hall, and you are able to tell that it's for Brittany Hall based again on the bookend information and number as well as a photograph?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I'm going to go through those. So these are the specific different markings that are found, again, in comparison on Brittany Hall. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And so again, as is noted here, you can see the various different parts that there are tattoos. So I'm looking specifically here at the left leg, which does show a tattoo there. So this would obviously mean that Brittany Hall had tattoos on her legs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Whereas you indicated that Celeste Owens did not.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are, again, the comparison photographs of the various locations of the tattoos. Is there a reason that the photographs are not all taken on the same day?
Typically, we have more males getting arrested than females, and so most of our time and attention is given to the males. They're typically larger groups, and so there is a gap between, with females, there is a gap between the day that they're brought in and then the time the classification is able to visit them.
Okay. All right, I think that's all the questions I have for you, Sergeant Campbell, right now. Mr. Greenwell might, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am, you're welcome.
Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
Just for clarification purposes, as you look through the exhibits, no tattoos on Ms. Owens' legs, correct?
Correct.
Tattoos on Ms. Hall's legs.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You can step down.
Thank you.
Before we go with the next witness, I'm going to take a 10-minute comfort break.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Outside the door where it says Good morning, sir. Is it detective or corporal?
Corporal's fine.
All right.
Works for me.
Corporal, if you'll raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
All right, thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Thank you.
Sir, could you go ahead and state your name for the court and spell it as well?
Officer Jonathan Sorensen, first name Jonathan. Sorensen is Sorensen.
Okay, and you indicated that you were a corporal, previously a detective?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and call you corporal right now. Corporal Sorensen, tell us how you are employed right now.
Right now I work for the Gwinnett County Police Department.
And how long have you been with the Gwinnett County Police Department?
Over 8 years.
Do you have any prior law enforcement experience?
No, I do not.
Now, to become a member of the Gwinnett County Police Department, please help the jury understand the kinds of training and background that you've had to go through.
Yep. For Gwinnett County, as well as the state of Georgia, we have our basic mandate Georgia post, which is peace officer and standards training requirements, which I think is over 400 hours. And then for Gwinnett County Police Department, we have additional advanced training, which luckily the whole state's going to, which is over 900 hours total of just basic training, just to be sworn in as an officer to have, to enforce the laws of Georgia and have arresting powers.
All right. I am going to go ahead and take you back now to November of 2021. What was your role at the Gwinnett County Police Department at that time?
I was working in our Criminal Investigations Division and our Special Victims Unit, so I was a detective for the SVU unit.
Right, so Special Victims is shortened to SVU, is that right?
Yes.
What is the SVU unit at the Gwinnett County Police Department?
Our main tasks, it's like one of several, we investigate child crimes, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, adult crimes, mainly for sexual abuse, elderly crimes, so anyone over the age of 65 for financial, physical, sexual abuse, as well as handle any of our missing persons or missing juveniles and runaway juveniles, so someone under the age of 18.
Now, what kind of special and additional training did you get to be a member of the SVU unit?
So there's a few required trainings and taking several additionals. A couple of the big ones is Child First, which is like a forensic interview type course. It's a 40-hour course. Then there's a couple sexual assault investigations class, which is another 40-hour course, which is kind of goes over the entirety of handling that type of case. And then I've taken several other classes for a lot of like child victim interviews, comprehensive victim interviews, this read technique for interviews and interrogations, search warrants class, criminal procedures training. It's over like 3,000 hours of training.
All right. Now, in November of 2021, approximately how many detectives were assigned to the SVU unit, to your recollection?
We're the largest unit in our criminal investigation division. We have 11 detectives, 3 sergeants, as well as an administrative assistant. She mainly handles all of our runaway and missing juveniles.
Approximately how many cases would you suggest you have worked as a member of the SVU unit, either as a lead detective or at least assisting in investigations?
In my time in SVU was over 450, whether it's lead or assisting cases.
What about missing persons, missing juvenile cases?
Probably around 50 or so cases were just specific to missing juvenile cases.
All right. Now, in November of 2021, as you were assigned to that unit, did you have an occasion to be called out to the hometown studios in Gwinnett County for the purpose of a missing child by the name of Amari Hall?
Yes, I was the on-call detective, because usually on the weekends or overnights, we're not at our office. So we have an on-call rotation for all of the 11 SVU detectives. Sunday, the 21st of November of 2021, I was on call for that entire day, and I was reached out by our West Precinct officers who were out on that missing persons case. I think they called me around 10 a.m. that day.
And did you, in fact, go to the location?
Yes, I think it was around noon, 12:30. They called back again, and I drove over and responded to the scene.
Now, prior to your arrival there, was it your understanding that a multitude of resources had been deployed in order to help locate Amari?
Yes, I was working what we call a part-time job, extra job, so I was kind of tracking along on our mobile data, little like computer that we have in our cars, and I'd already spoken a couple times with the on-scene supervisors. They had already contacted our K-9 unit to kind of track in the woods, see if they can pick up anything. They contacted our Air 1, our helicopter, to fly over to see, especially being in the winter times. And they had already reached out to even another precinct to assist, because I think they had like 10 or 15 total officers out there searching the nearby businesses, nearby restaurants, gas stations, stuff like that, just to see if there was a child or if anybody had seen her. And I think by the time I had actually responded, they even contacted our emergency search team, which is like civilians that come out to assist as well and help locating someone.
And Amari had still not been located at the time that you arrived?
No, she was still missing.
Tell us where you went when you got to the hometown studios.
When I got there, I just checked in with the on-scene supervisor, and they told me that it was up in room 251 at the hotel. And so I went up to the room 251 to speak with the parents that were there.
Right, and tell us when you got there, who all was in room 251?
So I met with Brittany Hall and Miss Celeste Owens, and then I could see on the second bed to the left, like 2 little heads like laying down, but literally could just see their heads, so I was assuming those were 2 other people, which I was later told was the other children.
Approximately how long would you say would you have been in the room speaking?
I went in and out of the room several times. I think the first time I was in there for 30, 45 minutes, and probably total in there for maybe a couple hours.
And during that time, as you're in and out and in the room, did those 2 little heads ever move or get out of bed?
No, they were, they looked asleep, and I was told they were asleep. And I was actually told, I think by Brittany, that usually the kids sleep till about 11 or noonish. They sleep in pretty late.
And in your time there, even with all the 10 or 15 officers, et cetera, coming in and out, did the children ever get out of bed or walk around?
No, they never moved from the bed until we had left.
Now, your initial response, explain to the members of the jury what the demeanor of both Brittany Hall and Celeste Owens was like at the time.
So when I got there and I was interviewing them first, just to try to figure out, timelines and stuff like that, probably demeanor was just kind of how we're just talking right now, pretty calm and just sitting there just talking. I think it wasn't until like 25 minutes in or so that I think Brittany then started to cry a little bit. But I know, like with Celeste, again, it was just, the demeanor was just how we're talking now, pretty calm.
Were you able to determine what the relationship between Brittany Hall and Celeste Owens was?
Yeah, I was told they were like girlfriends, known each other for a long time, lived together for a while. So not officially married, but just been dating, girlfriends type deal.
And were you able to determine who the biological mother of the other two children in Amari was at that time?
Yeah, Brittany told me that they're her biological children.
Was Celeste related to the children in any way other than just being the girlfriend of Brittany?
No, there was no blood or marriage or family relation.
And when you got there, did you have a look around the room?
Yeah, with especially with just how we handle missing and runaway kids, we always check the house, apartment, whatever, just to make sure, because there's been plenty of times that kids have been hiding under beds and stuff like that. So I'd walked around the hotel room, checked the bathroom, kitchen area, beds, under the beds, behind some. There was a lot of like just bags of clothes, suitcases of clothes and stuff checked around, but we didn't see Marty.
What about any sort of children's toys, children's paraphernalia, anything like that that you observed from your initial time there?
No, it was mainly just literally like a lot of clothes. I think there was like 10 bags and suitcases of just clothes and stuff. I wouldn't, having young children, we have toys everywhere. I didn't really see any toys or anything like that laying out.
Were you able to determine how long Brittany and Celeste had been living in that room?
Yeah, I'd asked about mainly just try to see where Amari might be familiar with areas. They said they had been living at the hometown suites since end of August, because they were previously at this Congress Inn, which was like 4 or 5 miles on the other side of the interstate of 85 off Jimmy Carter and Oak Brook. They had lived there previously for a couple years, so I think it was at that time like 3 or 4 months they were living at the hometown suites.
Did you determine if either one actually owned a vehicle?
No, I'd asked about vehicles. They both told me that they don't own any cars. Usually if they want to get around, usually it's like a Lyft or an Uber. They might walk to somewhere close by. I think Circle K was pretty close. And once or twice they would walk to like the McDonald's that's nearby. But generally they would just get a Lyft or like an Uber taxi type deal to get around.
So these sort of initial information gathering conversations you're having, are you having them simultaneously with both Brittany Hall as well as the defendant?
Yeah, they were both, we're just both sitting inside the room, just inside the room. So they're both right there.
And what about work? Were you able to determine if either Brittany Hall or Celeste Owens worked outside of the home, the studio?
Yeah, we'd asked about, what do they do for work. Brittany said that she works from home as a spiritual healer. And she also just homeschools the kids while they're all there. And then the defendant was, she was an artist.
Okay. And what about the children's father? Was anybody there present claiming to be the father of any of the children?
No, I don't think I ever even got any information about the child's father. It's just told that he or them are not in the picture.
Now, you spoke about the Congress Inn. You indicated that you were told that it was on Jimmy Carter and Oak Brook Parkway.
Yeah, I'm familiar with a lot of the hotels off Oak Brook Parkway, so I knew that the Congress Inn was right off Oak Brook Parkway, which is by Jimmy Carter. And I think, like I said, it's like 4 or 5 miles away.
All right, and being familiar with the area as a Gwinnett County Police Department officer for some time, is that location also in Gwinnett County, to your knowledge?
Yeah, they're both within Gwinnett County. They're in Norcross, but they're outside the city's jurisdiction, so we handle any and all calls at those locations.
Do you recall whether or not the Congress Inn was open and functioning back in November of 2021?
No, I'd found out even shortly. They had said that they had moved once it closed down, and then I just confirmed, I think it was later that day, that it had closed down back in August of 21.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the information that you received when you got there to aid in your search for Amari. What identifying information or descriptive information was provided to you, and if you can recall, by who?
Yeah, when I initially spoke, because prior to even getting on scene when I was still at my part-time, they had contacted me, I think it was shortly after 10, just so I could make like a bolo, be on the lookout for a type bulletin to send to like surrounding agencies, precincts, stuff like that, with a picture. And so the officers had told me that she was 8 years old, had short black hair, she wore glasses, she was last seen wearing a Tweety Bird style like pajamas, like light blue with like the Tweety Bird cartoon character on it, with some light up pink shoes, and she was about 100 pounds and 4'7". And they sent me a picture of her. It was an older picture, but something just to put on the bolo. And then when I arrived on scene, I was actually speaking with Brittany. She confirmed that same like description.
Now, were you able to determine if she wore glasses, Amari?
Yeah, in the picture that was sent, she had glasses, and then they both stated that she does wear glasses, and she can't really see if she doesn't have her glasses, and her glasses were gone. So they had said that she took her glasses with her.
What about any kind of issues that she needed medication for?
Yeah, they noted that she does, because especially when we're handling runaway missing kids, we'll ask about mental capacity as well as like medications determining on the level of severity of them being missing. I was told that she does have autism, but she's a very high-functioning autistic child, so if I were to have a conversation with her, I wouldn't know that she has autism. She speaks very well, but she does take these medications I don't think I got the specific names, but she only takes it every 12 hours, usually at like 10 a.m. when she wakes up and 10 p.m. when she goes to bed. But the medication was gone. They said that Amari must have taken the meds with her because she's, in their words, very smart.
Okay. Now, you indicated that Amari was homeschooled. Did you notice any school books or any laptop computers or anything to help with homeschooling?
No, there wasn't any designated homeschool area or any kind of school books, pamphlets, backpacks, like nothing like that. Just, I know Brittany had said that she just homeschools the kids.
Now, tell us a little bit about what you were told, and by whom, what the circumstances of Amari going missing actually were.
So once I got on scene, officers had told me just, hey, they got the call at 9:15, and the mother, Brittany, had told them that she last saw him when she went to bed, or when she got back home, went to bed at midnight, and then woke up about 5 minutes prior to Amari being gone. When I spoke to Brittany first, she said that she had Amari went to bed around 10 p.m. that Saturday night, the night prior. Brittany had went to the gas station, got a lift at the gas station, the BP gas station is nearby. After 11, but it was maybe 10, 15 minutes total she was gone. She got back at midnight, saw that Amari was asleep in the bed. She went to sleep, and then she woke up at around 9 a.m., 9:05 a.m. To Amari being gone. And then Brittany had even said that she had, before she went to bed when she got home after midnight, that she had deadbolted a hotel door, and like that top latch that hotels have, she had locked that as well, but when she woke up, the door was cracked open. And she said it's because Amari's really smart, so she knew if she shut the door, it'd wake him up. That's why Amari left it cracked. And then Celeste had told me that she had gotten home. She had left to her sister. She had called her sister and left to go to her sister's house that night, that Saturday night, around the time that Brittany had gotten back. And then Celeste had arrived home, or arrived back at the apartment around 5 a.m. that Sunday morning, and said that she kind of just pushed the door open because she didn't have a key card to the hotel room. But it was too dark, so she couldn't tell if Amari was asleep in the bed or not. She didn't really know. She just woke up to Brittany waking her up, saying that Amari was gone.
And did you find out if anyone had gone to actually look for her once they noticed that she had gone missing from the room?
Yeah, Brittany had told officers. She even told me again when I was speaking with them at the hotel that she, when she first woke up, again, 9 a.m., 9:05 a.m., and noticed that Amari was gone, she had gone out of the hotel room. She had checked like both floors, had checked out in the parking lot area, walked around the building for about 5 minutes, and then came back to the hotel room to call police because she couldn't find her.
Now, they're at the Hometown Suites. Is there any external surveillance video that's available?
Yeah, they have several exterior cameras and camera footage that officers and myself were able to review even that, I guess, afternoon.
Now, at some point, did you or other officers review surveillance video for an approximate time period prior to law enforcement being called to see if Brittany or Amari or anybody could be seen walking around the building?
Yeah, after I initially spoke with Brittany and Celeste and checked the hotel room, she actually went out and to the management office to actually review the footage. I think we started, just in case the time frame wasn't perfect, around, I told them started at 8 a.m. that morning on the 21st, up until the first officer arrived, and reviewing the multiple camera angles, because there's even one not directly above their door, but on that same level and same side of the building that actually goes all the way towards the back. Reviewing all those camera footage angles and stuff, I did not see Brittany walking around at all on any of the cameras.
Did you see anybody as far as Brittany, Celeste, or Amari walking around, or any of the children?
No, none of the children, Brittany nor Celeste, none of them were seen on any of the cameras walking around from 8 a.m. up until officers arrived.
Now, there, sort of speaking casually, were you able to get a fairly detailed and consistent outline or timeline from Celeste to be able to determine where Amari might be?
No, there was a couple statements that kept changing, either from when the initial officer spoke to him to even when I was speaking with them. And as either Brittany would say something, either Celeste would pipe up and change it, or if Celeste made a statement on her time frame or when she got home, then Brittany would change her statement of how their whole timelines and events occurred prior to police arrival.
Now, at some point, did you make a decision to take Celeste and Brittany back to headquarters to continue the conversation?
Yes, I think it was around 3 or 4 p.m. It was after a few hours that I was there, and over 6 or 7 hours of police being there, and Amari still being missing. I had asked both of them if they would come up to headquarters just so we can get like a very detailed timeline, order events, mainly for that day, the previous day, over the weekend, just to make sure we're not missing anything that could probably help locate Amari which they both agreed to come with. And I told them to bring the children as well, mainly just because they couldn't get any family members to come to the hotel, and I wasn't going to leave the two kids there. So we were able to get, they agreed, Celeste and Brittany, to come up with the children to our police headquarters for additional interviews.
All right. Now, the phones, I want to talk about the phones that were involved in this case. Did Brittany and Celeste both have their own personal cell phones?
Yes, they both had their own.
Do you recall if they
cell
were
phones.
on their person?
Yeah, I think when I had asked them, because it was right when they had gotten the children ready, we got outside to the patrol cars just because I couldn't drive them in my car. I told them, hey, just for like our policies, we don't have people hold on to their like cell phones or weapons or anything like that while we transport them. So they had both each handed me their own personal cell phone.
Okay.
And then I would bring it to our headquarters because I was following them up there.
Do you recall the colors of those phones or anything like that?
Yeah, looking back and reviewing it, it was, I believe that Celeste just had like a bluish kind of case on it, and I think Brittany's just had like a black case. But I think Celeste's phone was cracked, because I do remember making a statement to her about it being cracked, just so I wouldn't later be accused of breaking the phone, because I've had that happen before.
All right. And so you personally collected those phones, correct?
Correct, I held on to them.
All right. At some point later, you gave those phones for extraction purposes, is that right?
Yeah, later that night, another detective had gotten search warrants, and I had provided the cell phones to our computer forensic lab so they could actually do the digital forensic examination and phone extraction that night.
And do you recall the name of the detective in the forensics lab who actually did the extraction?
Yeah, it was Detective Dorenzo, actually came out that night and stayed all night to do it.
Okay. Now, do you see Celeste Owens here in the courtroom today?
I do. She's right over there wearing the blue collared shirt to my right.
Thank you. Judge, if the court's record could reflect that the detective has identified the defendant in the courtroom.
It's so reflected.
Thank you. Now, when you got back to police headquarters, did Brittany and Celeste separate? Did you make them separate in some manner?
I'm sorry. Yes, I had, we have like 5 total interview rooms, so I put Celeste in interview room number 3 upstairs at our headquarters, and Brittany in interview number 1, and I just told them the children, who finally ID'd them, Zaire and Jakari, they would be in our waiting room because it has like kids' toys and a TV and stuff, but it's just right outside the room in case they needed to see them, talk to them, or anything.
So at that point, obviously, the children had been woken up and then taken to headquarters, is that right?
Yes, when we were back at when I had asked them to come up to headquarters, I just told them that the kids have to come with us because I don't want to leave them there. So they woke them up, got them dressed, PJs, put on a couple blankets because it was the end of November, it's kind of cold. And we're just carrying them out from the apartment from the hotel room to the police cars. And I think it was Zaire that had rode with Celeste, and Jakari had rode with Brittany, because they each agreed to take one kid up there riding in the police vehicle.
So you were able to determine the names of the children?
Yes, Brittany had told me their first names, last names, birthdays.
And how old was Zaire?
Zaire, at the time, she was 6.
And what about Jakari?
Jakari, he was 5.
At the time?
At the time, yes.
Okay. Now, at some point, did you actually sit down and speak with the defendant, Celeste Owens?
Yes, at headquarters, correct, yes.
Was there another detective with you?
Yes, I had reached out to Detective Matthew Conway, who was also, and still is, working in the SVU unit at the time, to come assist with the interviews.
All right. And this is sort of normal protocol to have more than one individual in a room when you're speaking with someone else or interviewing someone else?
Yes, majority of the time, there's always at least two of us investigators or a supervisor, somebody in the interview room, just speaking with people.
Now, as far as speaking with the defendant, was this essentially a voluntary interview that you were conducting with her?
Yes, it was voluntary.
Did you threaten her in any manner to come speak with you?
No threats were made to anyone.
Did you promise her anything to come speak with you?
No, there was no promises made to anyone.
And did you deny her anything such as food or water or bathroom facilities to make her come speak with you in any way?
No, not at all.
And the video, the interview, was that audio or video recorded in any way?
Yes, in our interview rooms, they're audio and video recorded, and they have 2 different camera angles as well, but they were both recorded, yes.
You may. This is going to be a little loud, so I apologize.
Yes.
Now, the recordings have been memorialized on a disk and a flash drive as well. Did you at some point sign or initial either State Exhibit 26 or 26A indicating that that is in fact an accurate version of your recollection of the interview?
Yes, I initialed both of them.
Okay. And to your knowledge, any material changes or alterations of any kind as far as the substance of the interview is concerned?
And what, sorry?
Any material alterations or
Oh,
changes?
no, sorry, no.
All right, that's all right, no problem. Judge, at this time, I would move to enter into evidence State Exhibit number 26 for the record, only 26A as well.
No objection.
Admitted without objection.
Judge, I would ask permission to publish State's Exhibit 26A, which is a interview approximately an hour and change long of this defendant.
All right, very well. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to be shown a video of a police interview of the defendant. As you view the video and hear the audio, you will hear the interviewing officers make certain statements to the defendant. I caution you that the declarations or statements of the officers are not evidence, and you should not consider such statements as evidence unless such statements are proven to you by other competent evidence. Finally, I had determined that a portion or portions of the video should not be played for you because it contains video that is not proper for your consideration. You should make no assumptions and draw no inferences either for or against the state or for or against the defendant regarding removal of the video. You should not speculate as to the reason for the removal or the content of the removed video, and this removal should have no bearing on your deliberations. Does everyone understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any exception to the instructions?
Not from the state, Judge.
Mr. Greenwell?
No, Your Honor.
All right, very good.
There we go.
Is my hand ready for me? This flip flop. Yeah. This is Detective Conway. He works with special victims as well. He works with me. Like have a second opinion, second questions. He might know other questions I have. Okay. Stuff I might miss. So we're gonna start from the basics. We're gonna get a wide bit of information, but first I do want to start with last night. We're gonna go back a few nights, but first we're gonna start with last night, okay? So starting from say yesterday morning, I want you to run through your day all the way up until the police get back.
Run through my day from yesterday when I came back. Sorry, I'm running off a few hours sleep. Yesterday I got back because she wanted to go to the store. We never leave the kids alone. Because one's actually two of them is autistic, the little boy and Nicole's missing. And I came back around because sometimes I go help my sister out and also babysit her kids as well. But she has a boy and a little girl turning injected. And then I'll come back and then I do my art because that's my business. I do art illustrations, and she does things with like spiritual guidance and readings and stuff like that. And that's when I came in. I didn't think to check like, oh, did anybody run away? That's not what comes to my mind coming in back that early. And
what time was that when you got back yesterday?
I was around, I want to say, because I came back before she went to the store, and when she came back, I left. And then I got back around, I want to say 4-ish, close to 5-ish, I'm not sure. I just came back.
You said you came back when? How long? So like yesterday, were you there in the morning? Like yesterday morning?
Yes, in the morning.
Okay, so when did you said you got back? When did you leave before you got back?
When I came, like at 4 or 5-ish in the morning.
Yeah, just start with not tonight, not today, but Saturday.
That was the time I left. Before those 2 times, I was with Brittany.
Okay.
The past 2 days, because I'm here. I'm her girlfriend.
Okay, so you were with Brittany all day Saturday? Okay. So,
yeah. And I didn't think to look at, all 3 of them on the bed, because Amari's more of a, when she sees you, she say, good morning or hey or something like that.
So what was the first time Saturday that you left?
The first time I can't recall the time.
Was it morning, afternoon, evening?
The first time I left, I went to the store. It was morning.
And then was that when you what happened after that?
After that,
yeah. So you go to the store and then what?
And then after that, I came back that night with Brittany. Went to the store that day and then came back and then left again and then helped my sister out and then came back that morning before she went.
Now when you left again to help your sister out, what time was that?
Left again before. I couldn't really even tell you.
After lunch, before dinner, nighttime day. I mean, the sun goes down at 5 o'clock.
Before that, it had to be nighttime. Daylight wasn't there.
So when you went to go help your sister, it was already nighttime.
Going on night.
Going on night. So after 5 o'clock. Okay, but not nighttime yet. Not pitch black.
Not pitch black.
Okay.
That's Saturday morning. I mean, you talking about Friday?
No, we're still on Saturday.
Still on Saturday.
So we left.
So Saturday morning I came back. Sorry, I'm just.
Okay, so let's just,
everywhere.
sorry, just breathe. Okay, so you hang out with Brittany all morning on Sunday. You go to the store, you come back, and then you leave again when it's kind of dark to go help your sister, and then you come back. When you get
That's
back.
not often. Sometimes I don't wake up. Sometimes I just.
Well, I'm not talking about
Sunday,
sometimes. I'm talking about
Saturday.
just yesterday.
Just Saturday.
Just
Just
yesterday.
yesterday. Came back around. Let me give you the specific time. Oh, man, what times? I think. I want to say, because I came back, it was evening, it was dark. I want to say, 2 o'clock, because I was in, then came back.
Like
and
2
then
a.m.?
Came back, yeah, 2
Okay.
p.m.
2 p.m.
Well,
Two, because Saturday, sorry.
Okay,
'cause-
so let's start over. We're getting all over the
Start over,
place
yeah.
here. Okay,
Let's
so
start with the day, then we'll lead up to
this
that,
is
yeah.
what I'd like to do. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna start with Saturday. From the moment you woke up, I want to know everything you did, all the way until
Okay.
the moment you realized
Saturday,
you
I
was missing.
woke up, I went to the store.
Okay, and what time was that?
Sunday. Saturday, I woke up, went to the store, it had to be around 11. Couldn't be after 12 because I don't like shopping that early. Then I came back. Then I went to BP, walked, because I don't need to live there. I walked there and then came back. I don't recall the time on that. And then after that, I came, it was that night, because I came back and then I stayed and then I left again just to go quick to the store again for some cigs, and then I came back.
Which store?
BP. And then I came back.
For cigarettes?
And then I came back, and that's when Brittany was like, you know, you can go. And that's when I came back in the room. Because I'm never on, like, very long. I'm always coming back. That's why I said, like, with the kids, like, she knows, like, way more than me. Because I'm still trying to
Okay.
deal with the kids.
So maybe let's make sure I got this right. You woke up, you went to the store, you said it was probably around 11 a.m. because you usually don't shop at noon or later. And then you came back, and then you left to go to BP, walked there, and then you came back again. Do you remember around what time that was, your first BP visit?
My first, no, I can't really recall.
If you just had to guess.
I'm just all over the
Is
place.
it, say, between 1 and 6?
Yeah, I would say between 1 and 6.
Between 1 and 6?
Still some daylight out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you come back, and then you said you left again to go get cigarettes. Around what time do you think that was? Was it dark out, light out?
When I left again to go see, it was still like
Still light out? And when you came back, was it light out?
dark.
So you left to get cigarettes, it was light out, and you came back, it was dark.
Going on dark, yeah.
Okay.
And then that's when she wanted to go to the store and get some like snacks and stuff like ready for the next day for the kids. And that's when I left again and I came back.
And which store was that when you went to go get snacks?
I didn't go get snacks. Brittany went to go get snacks at the BP.
Okay, so you get back up to the cigarettes, and then Brittany wants to go get snacks from the BP. So Brittany goes to the store while you're home?
The kids are not left home.
Okay, so Brittany wanted snacks, so then Brittany left.
Do you know what time she left?
It had to be, I want to say 10, around 10. It was dark.
Okay. And did she walk
Big
also?
Yes.
Is that
She walked to the
I think
BP?
she BP. She lifted to BP.
She took a lift to the BP?
Lifted to BP.
Okay.
Sometimes she don't tell me. Sometimes she just be like, I'm back there, just stay here with them. So sometimes she, depending on her mood, she
So
would
this
walk
time
or
she
drive.
told you, I took a lift?
She was like, I'll be back. So I assume she took a lift because I don't like her walking that night.
Okay.
Okay, and then what time did she get back from BP to get snacks?
I don't know.
If you had to
I know.
guess. Was it a long
It's-
time? Was it a
it
short
has to be
period?
10 minutes. Yeah.
So it was pretty quick.
It's never long. Like she wasn't grocery shopping.
Okay, and then what after that?
And then that's when I walked in, and that's when I look both ways because it's early morning. I'm still.
No, you said you walked in. So Brittany leaves to go get snacks. You said
I
you
thought it
were...
was on today.
No. We're still slowly doing bit by bit on yesterday.
Okay.
So Brittany goes to BP to get snacks,
Mhm.
and then she comes back. It said it's been about 10 minutes. What happens right after that?
Right after that, too, I leave.
Okay, you leave. Where'd you go?
I went with my sister.
Okay.
Did y'all walk somewhere, ride somewhere?
Me and my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go somewhere.
Where'd you guys ride to?
Back to my grandma's house, 1530 in Tucker.
You said it's in Tucker. What's the address?
1535 Idle Hour.
Idle,
Is that the one that's on
IDLE?
your ID?
Huh?
Is that the one that's on your ID?
same.
Okay.
You said Idle
Idle
Hour?
Hour Drive.
It says in Tucker. And your sister drove?
Her car, your car?
What type of
I
car
think
she
it was
drives?
her boyfriend's car. I really can't remember because I remember her telling me that her car was fixing, but her car she drives is a white Toyota.
What car did you guys ride in?
It was a black car, like a Nissan.
Black Nissan? Was it like a SUV, passenger
No,
car?
it was like a put car.
Two-door, four-door?
Four-door.
The black. Okay. Any kind of stickers or anything custom about it you might remember?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think
So you and your sister go to grandma's house, and about what time do you think you left with your sister to go to grandma's house? You said
the time I left
Yeah.
was when, as soon as she got back, 10
so. That'd probably be
So she
between 10 or 11 p.m.
Yeah.
About how long do you think you were at grandma's house for?
When I left, I came back at, I would say 4 hours, because then I came back before 5. It was like when the sun wasn't probably even up, but it was daylight.
Before 5 p.m.?
And that's when I noticed, when I just walked up to the door, I pushed, I said, that's kind of strange. And then that's when I came in, I kicked off my shoes, I laid in the bed, and I closed the door.
Okay,
And then
so,
that's when she gets up and always, uses the restroom and then look at them.
so when you got back from Grandma's house, you said that was 5 p.m.?
No, 8 a.m.
5 a.m.
4 to 5 a.m.
But the sun was coming out.
It was like daylight trying to come on.
Yes.
Okay.
wasn't
That's why I had a
pitch
little bit of confusion, because you said it was dark when you left.
No, it wasn't
Okay,
pitch black.
so you get back, and your sister drops you off, and that's between 4 and 5 in the morning, and you said you go in, and how'd you get in the room? Do you have like a key card you use? Do you knock?
I normally knock, but see, this time when I went like this, but sometimes with that door, you have to push, sometimes with the door, not all the time. So I noticed before I went to knock, on my first one, it kind of went in. So that's when I laid on the bed, and I was like, they can't close it all the way. And I was a bit tired, so I don't know if I put the latch on or off, but it really don't matter, because Maurice almost my height, and she can easily push that in and do it.
Okay.
Did you shut the door?
I shut the
Did you
door.
lock it?
I shut the door. It don't matter if you locked it.
Well,
You
if
can
you
still-
deadbolted it on,
Even if you
just like a habit.
Yeah, even if you deadbolted, you can still get in the door.
Now,
Even
did-
if somebody would deadbolt and I still use my hotel key, it would still unlock it.
Now, did you
So the
notice?
deadbolt is like the lock goes this way just to lock the room door. Then there's a latch, but it's a cheap. You seen it? It's like a cheap metal latch.
Okay.
I did not latch it back.
Did not latch.
I did not latch it back.
Now, when you get back around 4 or 5, did you notice that the kids were in their bed? Or?
I didn't. Well, it's like I didn't think to notice that she would go. So I'm
you
assuming
didn't really
when I didn't
notice?
really look, because
Didn't really-
my corner, I went straight. My corner was on the right side. So as you open the door, my
So you just wanted to go to bed. You weren't
I just
really like
wanted to go.
checking to see if they were there or not. You just assumed they were.
Yeah.
And was Brittany was home when you did that?
Mhm.
When you got in?
Mhm.
Okay. And where was Brittany? Was she in bed or somewhere
She was
else?
in bed. She was
in
on.
bed. Okay. And that's around 4 or 5. And then what happens after that?
That's when I was asleep, and
Okay.
that's when Brittany woke me up and said, "Babe, we gotta find it. We gotta." And I'm like, "What happened? What's going on?" And that's I think more went away. And then that's when she went outside and started looking.
Okay. And what time was that when she woke you up?
Right before she called 911. She woke me up as soon as she was dialing 911. She woke me up because I think she was on the phone outside looking at the same time, and she woke me up.
And you said she went outside looking for her.
Mhm.
Now, did she like just go out the door? Did she go walk around the
Yes.
outside of the building
Yes.
looking for her, maybe like checking the parking lot and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you go out and look with her or no?
No, I didn't go out and look with her because by that time she said the police was coming to the door. I don't know his name, but he was the first one that showed up. So by the time she was walking around, because I can't leave him by himself because one, he's autistic. So she went first, and then that's when she was like, when she came back through the door, I was like, good, I was going to put on my shoes and come out. But she was like, the police coming in now, because I guess she said the lady told her to go back inside, the police is coming in. And then, yeah.
And you said your sister's car possibly like a Nissan?
Mhm.
Now, you sure it's a Nissan or you just think it's a Nissan?
I just think it's a Nissan. I'm not
Your
sure.
sister's car or
I'm
the
not my
boyfriend's
The
sister's
sister's
car,
boyfriend's car.
Her
Yeah.
car is a white Toyota.
But she wasn't driving that yesterday?
No.
No? Okay. And then, so let me make sure we got all this right, just because I know it's a lot of information we're taking in here.
Yeah.
Saturday, wake up, you go to the store around 11-ish. You come back, then you go back to the store between 1 and 6, because it was still daylight out, but when you come back, it's getting kind of dark.
Like we're always going back.
I'm sorry, you come back.
BP.
Then you go back to BP to get cigarettes. It's still light out. When you come back, it's getting dark. And then Brittany says she wants snacks from the store, so she leaves. You assume she got into a lift, but not entirely 100% sure. And then it takes maybe about 10 minutes. Brittany comes back. That's around 10 p.m. And then when Brittany gets back, that's when you leave with your sister, you go to Grandma's house, which is in Tucker, and you stay there for probably about 4 hours-ish. And she drives a black four-door car, I believe it's a Nissan. And then you get back from Grandma's house around 4 or 5 in the morning. It's starting to get lighter outside. But you notice the doors
No, I
wasn't
didn't
shut
get
all the
back
way.
to Grandma's house at 4 or 5 in the morning.
No, you got back to the
Yeah.
hotel from Grandma's house. That's what I'm saying, yeah. And when you get back, you notice the door's not shut all the way. You shut the door, go to sleep, and then you wake up to Brittany saying, "Hey, Nicole's missing." She's calling 911, and then she goes outside and actually walks around the
Literally
building and
walks
checks
out.
the parking lot and all that. Okay, and then the police show up.
That's when
Okay.
she showed up because I was going to go right behind her and just look
Okay.
because I didn't think she would go for.
Okay.
And how long have you known Brittany?
I've known Brittany for going on 2 years.
2? Have you
I've
all,
been with her. I've been knowing her for a long time since we were 17.
how long have you lived with her?
Lived with her, I'll say. Since I want to say a year and a half, going on 2, because we had just got back together in 2018.
Now, what's Grandma's information?
I'm not sure.
You don't know your grandma's
Why would she
name?
need?
Just so we can check on
She
some
don't know.
stuff.
She's not with my lifestyle. Period. She don't need to ask questions or nothing. But I don't even communicate with my grandmother.
Yeah, but she lives at this 1535 mile-hour drive?
My grandmother, yes.
Okay, what about your sister? What's your sister's information?
Diamond Owens, I don't know her number by her, but her name's Diamond Alexis Owens. And she's 28 years old.
Does she live with your grandma, or?
No, that's just where
She
she living with her for right now. She used to have her own spot, but she living with her for right now.
And you said you don't have Diamond's number?
I don't know. No, I don't know about her.
Okay, would it be in your phone? No,
I
how do you
hit my
communicate
sister on
with her?
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how you got her to come pick you up?
My sister. Or when she calls, because she's always changing her number, so I don't save it.
I got you.
Or if it is saved, it's probably not the accurate one. Just like my older sister.
She must have a lot of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd y'all live at before this hotel?
Congress Hotel on Oak Brook Parkway.
Well, just a few miles down the road,
Mm-hmm.
the other side of the interstate.
Still in Oak Brook.
You said Idle? IDLE?
Idle Hour Drive. But she knows little about the kids anyway. To her knowledge, she thinks Brittany has one. But she don't really ask much about kids.
Grandma, sister?
None of my family.
No,
I'm like
really?
the black sheep of the family.
Oh, okay.
Because of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lesbian, to be exact.
Okay.
What were you doing at your grandma's house?
What I doing at my grandparents' house?
Yeah, for like 4 or 5 hours at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, to my knowledge, she didn't even want to. I guess she wanted to go out. I didn't care. She was just like, I need you for a few hours.
Your
And then
sister?
and then those 2 hours turned to 3 hours, and then I was just mainly waiting on her. So I think she went out and partied. I'm not sure. Sometimes she has on her work clothes, and she'll change it and go party.
Well, you said you
she'll
went with her to
she'll
grandma's
tell me
house.
one thing. Yeah, I went with her to my grandma's house.
So did
But
you
she
just
wanted
hang
me-
out with grandma, or how'd that work? Like,
It's
what'd
my
you do?
grandma, my aunt, my niece, my nephew, then my cousin that all stays in the house. So it's like 6 people: dad, aunt, niece.
So what did you do while you were there?
I was there.
Yeah.
Just communicate with my niece and nephews.
So you just hung out with your nephews all night?
I was downstairs because it's a 3-level house.
Did your sister just drop you off
Mhm.
and then leave?
Mhm.
And then just came back when she was
When she
done
felt like it.
doing whatever she was doing and brought you back?
Because normally when I
So
watch,
y'all didn't even hang out?
me and my sister, we have a love-hate relationship, but that's my world. I mainly just do it for my niece and nephews. So if I haven't seen them for a long time, I don't mind. And sometimes she pays me, and sometimes she, I don't mind. But we really hang out. But communicating with my grandmother, it's not really like that. It's more like, hey, how you been? And that's really it. But she don't mind me like coming there.
Did she tell you, hey, I'm gonna drop you off at grandma's?
So here's the deal. We just want to find a kid. All right. We don't care whatever your lifestyle is. We don't judge. We don't care. Okay. Like you can tell me that you're a drug lord for some Colombia cartel. I don't care. I want to find the 8-year-old kid. That's it. So the reason we're asking you all these questions and we're trying to get specific every detail, it's not because we're like, ooh, what's Celeste doing?
And that's
No,
what I feel
it's,
like.
it's because we're trying to figure out at some point this child has gone missing,
Right.
and the best way for us to figure that out, even if it seems doesn't make sense, like why are they asking this? What's this have to do with that? Even if it seems crazy,
'Cause I don't have
we gotta
anything
get.
on my record.
And I understand, but we don't care about any of that. We want to know every specific detail for every moment
Right.
that you went through in the last
Yeah.
like 72 hours,
Yeah.
and we want to know the same thing about your girlfriend, and we want to know so that way we can put everything together and be like, well, okay, well Celeste was here, 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 and here, and here. That's what she was doing. So we know that she's not involved in this or whatever, and we know that this and that's going on. And then we can figure out what your girlfriend's doing from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever.
Right.
And then we can put everything together and we can figure out, okay, so where's the 8-year-old? What's going on? But in order for us to build this crazy picture, to be able to try to figure that out, we got to know everything. So,
Right.
I mean, if God knows whatever you want to do, if you want to go meet up with another girlfriend or you went over to this house to go buy a pony, I don't care. We want to know where you went and why you went there. That way we can kind of understand what everybody's doing during these crucial hours where this child's gone missing,
Right.
just so that if we come back later and something crazy happens or whatever, we can say, okay, well, this makes sense because she was over here and this is what's going on. We just want to piece all that together.
Right.
So I get grandma might have problems with your lifestyle. We don't have any problems with your lifestyle. We don't care. Okay, that's you. You do you.
Well, not
Okay.
get involved because you have her address.
Okay, that's fine. We just
Yeah,
right
that's
now
fine too.
we're just trying to figure out where everybody was. Okay,
Right.
that's it. All right. We don't care what you're involved in, what you're not involved in. We don't care about your lifestyle. Okay, you do you. Okay, but we do need for these few hours to know exactly what happened, who you hung out with, where you were. That way we can verify all that information. We can put the puzzle pieces together, and we can try to figure out where this kid is gone.
Right.
Okay.
Most
It seems crazy, but that's just how we put things together. Okay, because you saying you left with your sister, we can try to check on stuff like that to make sure stuff makes sense. And God knows, say you're leaving with your sister, and the 8-year-old walks out and says, "Oh, there's a car," and she starts following
Following the
your
car,
car, and then
right,
she gets
right.
confused and she starts following the wrong car, and then some dude picks her up in a car that looks like your car. See, if we didn't know you got into a black Nissan, and then say it's a black Nissan that picks up the kid, we'd like to figure this stuff out because God knows what happened, but we got to figure out what happened. Okay, so that's why we're asking all these questions. We're not trying to be dicks. We're not trying to get into your life like crazy. We're just trying to figure out this all out. And with all that saying, what do you think happened with Nicole?
I'm gonna tell you from my personal experience. So when I first came around board, which was 2 years ago, when I got back with Brittany, because we were together before, but before she had kids, and then we separated, and then we came back together. My one-on-one relationship with her was, she was a sweet child, but the only thing was her behavioral problems. Like when she didn't get her way, she would literally like punch herself. It's like, more, why are you doing it? Because I first noticed it when Brittany had left and went to go grocery shopping when we were staying in Robin Landon in Decatur a long time ago. And that's when I was like, I came to a person and said, Brittany, when I told her no for something, she hit herself in the face, and she was like, just bear with me, I'm getting her help, because she was going through speech therapy. She did have 2 therapists for her speech and to help, with her. And that's from the first time I seen Maury. And then that's when I noticed every time Brittany went to her, go wash the dishes or go take a bath, she'll stomp, or she'll scream to the top of her lungs, or she'll kick because it's something she don't want to do at the moment. So it's like my main relationship was with her was like, hey Maury, how you doing? Typically with a child, are you okay today? And then sometimes she don't respond to me, and sometimes she don't, because she really don't respond to strangers. And before that incident happened, all I know was Brittany told me that Maury had attitude, and I said, why she got attitude? And she was like, I don't want to talk about it. She always have attitude. And then that's when I left it alone. I was like, okay, when Maury's mad, she don't like to be talked to, so I don't talk to her when she's mad. I try to calm her down and try to buy her things that she likes, but sometimes there's no.
So what do you think happened last night?
What I think, I think Maury probably got super mad. Like it could be 1,000 reasons. I really don't know what goes through. I'm not the mother, so I really don't know what goes through this girl's mind. I'm still learning her. So it's like, it's just been 2 years, so I'm still learning her, and still getting her to accept, me, because she does realize it was just her and her mom. Now I came into the picture, so I don't know if it's probably was different for her. Like, who is this person, and trying to understand.
Does she try to get into it with you when she gets upset?
No, she just tells me leave me alone. Okay. And I'm like, I'll leave it alone, and then when she's done, probably an hour later, she'll probably come back and be like, I apologize, and I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then she'll go walk off, and then it'll be something else that she's mad about. But over these 2 years, it just slowly progressed. So I would say, like, this week was like totally different with me and Maury, because she 2 weeks ago started her cycle. So I don't know if that's a part of it, considering the fact that she's autism and female has to have a cycle. So I'm not sure. But I know this week she was more minimal speaking.
Okay.
Normally she'll ask how you doing. Yeah, normally she'll ask how you doing, or hey dad, or lady she just wake up, go to the restroom, lay down, and don't want to be bothered by her sister, but nobody.
So what do you think happened with her?
I literally think she just, God forbid, but I really think that she just, of course, ran away, but I literally think that, God forbid, somebody snatched her up.
Now, has she ever run away before?
Never.
Ever had any type of
that I know
thing
of
that would
since I
make you wanted to run away? Or?
Well, the one time she was in school, and then Brittany had to go up there because the teacher said that she said the teacher had told her she couldn't do something. And like I said, when you tell her no, she really doesn't like it. She's not your typical, when you tell a child no.
So what did she do at the school?
In school, she literally stood there and pissed on herself.
But she didn't try to leave the school or anything? She
walked out of class and just went, but was still in the school, but was like down the hall. But she walked out of class.
Does she have any other family? Like, is there a father figure in the picture that might have picked her up?
She was artificially inseminated.
Okay, so none of that at all. Any other family members that might want custody or something like that? Any issues going on?
Not that I know of.
No?
No.
Okay.
Like, I'm literally just still learning the kids.
And just to make sure, so you haven't left anything out in what we went through in the day-to-day, starting from the moment you woke up Saturday all the way up until you got woke up by Brittany?
Nothing really out.
Nothing really out, or nothing out at all?
Nothing at all. That my mind's on, because I'm running through it as we're talking.
Okay.
But I do know I was in the black Nissan, which I assumed that was my girlfriend, my sister's boyfriend's car. I assumed that was his car because they was together. But her car is a white Toyota, and she came there before in her car.
Was that during that day?
No.
Okay.
Like, I never heard more. It was one time I did, but I never mentioned it to Brittany. I have to say it was a month ago. I stepped outside, like I never leave the front door, so I step outside to smoke a cigarette, and I leave it cracked. And I did overhear Maury say, she was saying, I'm gonna, like whispering like little words, like talking to herself. So I opened the door and I said, Maury, what are you saying? And she was like, nothing, I'm talking to myself, figuring something out. And I said, what you figuring out? You wanna talk to me about it? She was like, no. And then just walked off and just rolled out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you an opportunity to stand up and stretch. Everybody all right? Y'all need a break or anything? you may. I just wanted to give them an opportunity to move around a little bit.
Yes, of course.
When was that?
This was a week ago.
A week ago? Okay. What about, say, Friday? Where were you on Friday?
Friday. Where was I on Friday? Yeah, I was there all day.
You there all day?
Yeah.
Didn't go anywhere, walk anywhere, get any rides?
Not alcohol, yeah, all day.
So stayed in the
We barely
hotel?
go, because
whole time?
we're not vaccinated, so we're make to go out constantly.
Just real quick too, I know you said when you got back around 4 or 5 in the morning, you didn't really check to see if she was there. When was the last time you actually saw Nicole Saturday?
The last time I saw her was before I left, before Brittany came back, and before I left, that was the last time I
So Brittany gets back from BP, as you're leaving with your sister, you do see Nicole, you see her there, you know she's there.
When I got back from the store, I didn't know for sure. But before she left the store, she was there. But when I got back early that morning, I didn't look to see her.
No, okay, so before
Yeah,
you
but she
before
was
you left
there.
with your sister.
That was the last time I saw her.
So when you were leaving to go with your sister to grandma's house, that's when you saw her there.
More.
And so that
She
would be
never-
around,
No.
what was that, like around 11 p.m.? 10
More-
or 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maury never, she never, and then even if she wants to go outside, she'll always ask both of us. She don't just ask one parent, she'll ask both of us.
Okay.
So that's why it seems odd that she would really leave the door cracked enough to go.
Okay. So Friday, back to Friday. You said you were at the hotel all day Friday, never left to go walk into the BP or anything like that?
No, I don't recall, no.
And was Nicole there with you?
Mhm.
What about Brittany?
Brittany was there as well, we both were there.
So
If we go somewhere, it's
nobody
either
left
the
anywhere.
BP or back.
Nobody left anywhere on Friday?
That I recall, no.
No cars, no lifts, no grocery runs.
That I can think far as back as I'm trying to. I'm literally running off 3 hours of sleep.
What about Thursday?
Good luck on that. I really can't recall. But most of the time I'm a homebody. I really don't go much. All my art is done in the hotel, sell through there, and her work is there also. If you guys looked on the camera, you would have seen we're homebodies.
So if you can't remember Thursday, you really can't remember Wednesday, right?
I really can't think back that far. If I can, if it comes to me, while we're talking,
Just
I have no problem telling.
Okay. Now, you said, okay, so you said that you get woken up around 4 or 5 in the morning. No, you get back at 4 or 5 in the morning. Then you get woken up by Brittany, who says that Nicole's missing. What time did Brittany wake you up?
It had to be before you guys, so I want to say around 9 and 10. I want to say
9 or 10 a.m.?
because she normally wakes up and pays the room before 11.
Okay. Now, so she wakes you up, she calls 911 as she's waking you up, you said. And then she goes outside and she went and checked the whole parking lot.
Check the camera, I guarantee.
Okay,
Check the
so
whole
that was one thing I wanted to touch on too. So
Yes.
we've checked several cameras. There's a camera for the hotel, there's the car wash across the street, there's Hibachi, there's another camera. We've checked all those cameras. We have people checking those cameras right now. They never saw her walking around that hotel.
Really? This morning?
So is there any reason why that's not adding up?
I don't know. I honestly don't tell you.
Is there anything that happened? I mean,
Because
did an
the
accident
neighbor
happen
told
or
you
something?
she went out looking around and she came back. Because when she went out, she told me she walked around. She's like, yeah, babe, I'm looking around.
Did you see her go walking around?
I only saw her go down the steps and go down the side. And by that time, she's already on the phone with 911.
Okay.
And then she said a cop was coming. So even if she wanted to double the hotel twice, she couldn't. And I remember her saying she went to the back and there was some hole back there. I don't know what hole in the back of the hotel. And she said she was looking. And then we standing outside, a neighbor, I'm assuming she was a neighbor, came up to Brittany and me, and then she said it was some guy in a black vehicle with a box, and it was 10 or 12 kids playing behind there, and he was trying to tell them to come, I guess, towards the box. I don't know.
So
I don't know if that's
the
true.
neighbor
That's what
mentioned
she-
there
yes.
was a guy.
In a black car in the back. They had a brown box in the passenger seat
You remember
and was trying to lure kids in.
which neighbor?
Honestly, she looks like a crackhead. Honestly.
And they said the brown box was in
But
the
I
passenger
was assuming
seat.
she was living there because she came on that level. Or she was just trying to be nosy because there was police everywhere.
He was trying to lure kids.
Yeah, he was trying to, she said lure them in.
What did this lady look like?
She was a white female and she had, I want to say, pink nails and pink toes with a gray hoodie and blonde hair coming in front with like red pimples on the sides of her face.
Okay, so pink nails, pink toes. You say gray hoodie? Red hoodie?
Gray hoodie.
Gray hoodie.
Blonde.
Blonde hair, and then you said red pimples?
On the side of her face.
But you just saw her coming down on the bottom level.
I didn't even see her come out. She was talking to Brittany at first.
Yeah.
And then that's when Brittany came in because she was on the phone. And that's when I stepped out there. And then that's when she was telling me about her autistic boy that went missing.
Now,
And then she started telling me.
this blonde lady, have you ever seen her before?
I've never seen her before.
So that's the first time you ever
That's
seen
my
that
first
lady?
time.
Okay. Did you see where she went off to after she talked to you?
No.
No?
I did not. Because
And
she
she
got
said-
a phone call again and I stepped in because I was like, this lady's crazy.
Now, did she describe the guy that was in the car? If you,
She said he was a black man with a beard. And that's the most I got from her. And I said, what happened? Like, did somebody alert or something like that? She said somebody screamed out, and by that time he pulled off.
Did she remember around what time that was?
No, I didn't.
She didn't tell you?
Answer that.
She didn't say like last night, this
Like, she
morning,
probably told
yesterday, last
Brittany
week?
more than I did.
She probably, okay.
Yeah.
But she did talk to
She
Brittany.
was talking to Brittany.
Okay. Now, you said, so you said during the day kept going back and forth with BP, and Brittany went to get snacks. Do you remember what type of snacks she got?
What kind of stuff she got?
Mhm.
Dill pickle chips. And what did she get? I think she got me and her beer. Well, her little margarita thing, whatever. And I don't remember else. I just know she whipped out a bag of chips and the rest was in a different bag.
Okay. And then when you said you went to the BP to get cigarettes, what type of cigarettes did you get?
I get Newports.
Newports.
How do you usually buy your stuff?
Card.
On card? Debit? Credit?
Credit card. Well, Vero.
Hmm?
Vero credit card.
What about Brittany?
Not sure.
Do you ever see her with cash?
Not really. It's always been mostly card because she feared carrying cash.
Okay. Now, has anything ever happened? Like, was there any type of accident or anything that happened
Well,
with Nicole? Like that? Like, did something happen? Was there an accident? Is that
like, you mean her whole life?
like last night?
Like last night. Literally, like, all I know was Moore was mad. And when you're trying to calm it down, it don't work. You have to let it.
Has it ever gotten physical between Moore and you, or Moore and Mom?
Never got physical.
No.
Never got physical. Well, Moore, she will get physical to herself.
To herself. Okay. Now, another thing I do have to ask is on the side that is something else might have happened. Is there any reason something else might have happened? Like maybe Moore got hurt and there was an accident, and we're just afraid to talk about it, something like that.
Yeah, sometimes she is like that. You'll ask her what's wrong.
But I mean, I'm talking like last night. Did something happen to her
No.
to where she got hurt real bad, and
No.
we're coming up with this story to try to get
No.
away from that
No.
because we're worried that like when the police find out, they're gonna think something else happened and we're gonna get in trouble, like something like that.
No.
Because if an accident happened, say like she fell, she got upset, she hurt herself or something.
Mm.
Maybe she fell down the stairs. Maybe she back talked to you or back talked to Mom or something, and it got physical. Or something happened where she got hurt real bad, and we're just trying to be like, well, we don't know the use. We're gonna say she ran away because we don't want to get in trouble. If something like that happened, we would want to know about that because if it was an accident, it was an accident.
Sure.
Okay, did something like that happen?
No. But I will call the only major argument that I ever witnessed between those two, Brittany and Nicole, the only major one was when she peed on herself and shit on herself on purpose. Because I guess she wanted a different attention. I really don't know. I'm still figuring out more in my nephew.
Was that at school?
Now,
Was that the one at
No,
school?
that was like recently
Mhm.
here at the hotel.
Okay.
Because
do
like
you
what I
think
know,
something could have happened to her, and Mom might have tried to cover it up because she might be scared or something?
well, I do remember the first time from what I know. I do remember from the first time when I met Maury and stuff like that. She had said that somebody was touching her, and Brittany took that very seriously.
No, but what I'm getting at is like, do you think there's a possibility that
That
while
she
you
could've
were
been so
gone, that
angry.
something could have happened to Moore that hurt her or
While I was
worse?
gone?
While you were gone, and
I
then
was
Brittany
super
is trying to cover it up because she's worried about she might get in trouble from something.
And Brittany would fight for her kids.
So she
It's
would
like
never
for her kids.
hurt Moore or anything
No,
like that.
never. More
And
so
then
her
if something were to
protection.
happen to her, like say she fell down the stairs or something, and she realized that she was not okay and wasn't going to get better, do you think she would still call us, or do you think
I think she would
would
most
get worried
definitely.
that she might get in trouble because somebody might put the blame on her or something like that?
Well, at first she thought Maury was hitting herself. Sometimes Maury would leave a mark here or a bruise here, and she would fear, sometimes like going to the hospital for it. And I'm like, put ice on it. I told her, I said, put ice on it because, and if it don't go down, then, take her to the hospital. And she was like, I don't want them to think that I'm abusing my child, and they try to take her away. And I'm like, they're not, but you do gotta say something. So I believe she would definitely say
She would
something.
call us. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do is step out for a second. We're going to go talk to Brittany for a little bit, and then we'll get back to you, okay?
All right.
Okay. Hello. Sorry, it's been a minute. Literally, I guess I was just going back.
The kids had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, trying to make sure we got everything taken care of. We're working on food and stuff like that.
Definitely helps if you have a female officer.
All right, so
Okay. So, I don't butcher your name every time. Celeste.
Celeste, Celeste.
Okay, Celeste. Okay. Now you don't drive. But do you take lifts or anything like that? Have you taken a lift the past few days?
Last I went to the store, let me remember.
Is it like something that's gonna be logged in on your phone? No, but you did say your sister called you, but she's got all those weird numbers because you don't remember her number.
No, she got murdered.
Okay, but she would have called you last night on her way to come get you the first time.
Or sometimes she pops up and not one of
Oh, just randomly
What
pops up.
about last night? Did she call you last night?
It was like
No,
call
that's
or
not.
Instagram or anything like
She
that?
pops up.
Is that, but it's on your phone though?
Instagram, she'll
Okay.
call me Instagram. Or from a different
You got like a password to your phone, or you just
Yeah.
Face ID stuff? or-
Why?
What's the password to your phone?
Why?
So
can look-
we would just
I wanna
like
find
to
that number.
look at the phones to see if that provides anything that helps.
Just to match your timeline, so we can be like, okay, boom, sister called her, went to grandma's,
Oh, yeah.
you see what I'm saying? This way,
And then the location on the phone also.
and then we
helps.
verify your story, and we're like, okay, good, their stories match up, everybody's good.
Yeah, I have a password.
What is it?
02-10-19.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it your birthday too? Everybody's always got birthdays.
Everybody's birthdays are
I'm sorry,
kind of
I'm-
lately.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that's what mine is. I'm not telling my birthday.
I just want to get this over with. Go
Trust me,
forward.
the sooner we
This
can
is
find
weird.
her, the better. You know, that's
Yeah.
literally what we're trying to do. How do the kids know you? Like, do they call you Celeste? Do they call you mom number two? Like, what?
Dad.
They call you dad? Okay.
Dad, daddy, or pop, I think some people call it just dad, okay. Do they ever call you by your name or anything, or is it always just, how long have they called you dad?
Well, they've been calling me Celeste for, I really don't know, like the time. I couldn't say that they used to call me dad.
Yeah.
But, you know, they call me Celeste for a good little minute. And then I'll say after the 6th month when she wanted to open up to me more about kids, because she's very personal with her kids.
Yeah.
And then that's when they got to know me a little bit and clarify me and stuff.
And thanks again for coming in and just coming in and
I thought it was
talking to us.
forced.
No, this isn't forced. It was
Because
entirely
normally
voluntary.
I got an interrogation, they just let me write it down instead of
it was
asking
like-
questions.
No,
and taking
because-
my phone.
It was forced, but it was like, put
No, you're not handcuffed. You're not under arrest. You're not. It's not forced. We're just trying our hardest to figure out where this kid is. That's why we wanted to talk to you.
We use a cop car, because you didn't have to.
With that being
I
said,
offered
it's
lift,
not.
but you was
It's
like,
not
the way you
forced.
was approaching right now, I'm like, oh,
We're just on the mindset of the sooner we find the kid, the better. And if we can get everybody up here, that way, you know,
Yeah.
we're not all bouncing around all the
Missing
places. It's
kids.
easier if we just get everybody here. We're just trying to figure out what's going on. 'Cause we got a lot of people all over the place. This is just easier. And it's not forced. And again, are you cool still talking to us and stuff? Because we just want to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bits and pieces I remember. Like I said, I'm running off 3 hours.
I got you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
You guys
fine.
are milking everything out of me.
I'm trying not to, but we're trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to figure out where she is. Her sister, I can't pronounce her name right. Can you?
Diamond,
No,
No,
not
no,
your
not
sister.
your sister.
I know how to say Diamond. Nicole's sister,
Zaire.
Zaire. Okay. She said she calls you dad, and you said she calls you dad. So that's okay. You got home around. You said between 4:30 and 5, right? Okay, and that's when your sister dropped you off. And when you came in the room, and then you didn't really see if the kids were on the bed because you weren't going to look at that. You just went because you're tired and went to bed, right? Brittany was asleep. So pretty much you're the last person to be awake coming into the room. You said the door's kind of cracked and stuff. Do you know where Nicole is?
No, that's why she called you guys.
You
That's
don't.
why. If I knew, I wouldn't ask you guys for no help.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't have to go through this.
Is there any reason
Mhm.
why, is it Zaire? Am I saying it right?
Zaire.
Zaire? Is there any reason why Zaire would say, Dad took her sister to the Back Row Hospital?
To the Bagger Hospital.
Mhm.
Oh, she's saying that because when Maury would act out, I say, Maury, listen, if you can't listen to us, you're gonna go. Can't say defects, can't say none of that stuff. I said, Maury, if you can't play with your sisters or you can't negotiate, you're gonna go to this place. And normally when we say that, Maury will act right for at least 3 hours.
Now when you say this place, what is this place? Do you refer to it as this place or do you
Yeah,
call
this
it?
place.
Okay, is there any reason why
Or
she would call it the
sometimes
Back Row? Mental hospital?
Bagger, yeah.
Okay,
I would
Back
say
Row
Bagger,
Hospital?
mainly Bagger, yeah.
Okay. Now is there any reason?
That helped her calm down for at least a certain amount of hours. If she's screaming or throwing a temper tantrum. Because neighbors don't want to hear it, and neighbors think otherwise, and the neighbors get involved,
Okay.
like today.
So why would Zaire say that she saw you take Nicole last night?
She saw me take, she didn't
Why
see
would
me
she
take-
say that you took her last night and that she's not coming back?
I didn't take her last night. I don't know why she would say that.
So you think she's just making it up or what?
Probably so. Why would I take Nicole? Where
Well,
would I
there's
take
a
Nicole?
there's a lot of stuff that's not making sense to us.
Mhm.
Okay, Mom's saying she went and looked all around the place and around the
Yeah.
hotel. We have officers that have reviewed all the video camera footage, not just from the hotel, but from buildings that are around the hotel that can also see the hotel. So if I were to go walk all around the hotel and hit up all those spots that Mom said she went to and that you said Mom went to, and then I watch that video camera footage, I'm gonna see me walking around, right?
Yeah.
Now we didn't see her walking.
No,
around.
it's not good.
We didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. Okay, we know that didn't happen. There's no dispute about it because the video evidence shows that that did not happen. Okay,
Me walking out with Nicole,
I'm talking about Mom walking around the hotel.
walking around the hotel.
Yeah,
Because
that
when
we
she
know-
got back, she told me she started walking, but calling the police.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
was
Well, she
outside.
told us she walked through the parking lot. She did all this other stuff, and that didn't happen because that's not on camera. So we can definitively prove, based on camera video evidence, didn't happen.
Okay.
Okay. when we first got into the story with you about where we're going and all that and everything, we had officers go to the BP, and they gathered every single receipt for the entire day and evening. We got some issues there too. Okay? So between the two of you guys, there's stuff that's not adding up, and there's stuff that's being said that happened that didn't happen. We want to know where Nicole is. It's not a if we find Nicole.
I want to know where Nicole is.
It's a when we find Nicole. We're going to find her.
Yeah.
If it's within the next couple hours, if it's the next couple days, we're going to find her. Okay? It's just a matter of when. We know something happened. We know she's somewhere, and I think that you know where she is. So I'd like to know where she is. If an accident happened, if something happened, say she got hurt, it was an accident. If you took her to go somewhere and it was an accident, if something happened, that's okay. We can deal with that. But
I didn't.
Based
if
off
you feel
of
like we should take it there, then I would like it where. Because I'm telling you I didn't, and now you're coming to me with allegations from a 6-year-old.
There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense.
Okay.
That's why when you told
So
me
that's why
she
we gotta
wasn't,
figure out where she
I didn't
is.
go behind her in the parking lot. Did you see me go behind her in the parking lot? I did not go behind her.
I'm just saying we need to get to the bottom of this.
Right.
And I feel like you're letting on a little more than what you've told us. I thought there's a little more there, and I'd like to get it all figured out. That way we can get into it.
Right.
We've got your phone, we've got your girlfriend's phone. We're getting into those phones. Whether you guys like it or not, we're getting search warrants. We're going through them. We're going to check location data. We're going to check text messages, whether they're deleted or not. We're going to check phone call records. We're checking camera systems for vehicles, vehicle tags, locations. We're going to talk to every single person you guys have even thought about talking to in the past 5-6 days. We're going to get all that done because we want to know who this kid is. That's the bottom line. Okay. My problem is when I have a kid tell me that something happened, I have to explore it. Okay. If the kid says, "Hey, Dad took her," then am I doing my job as a detective if I just brush that off and say, "Oh, she's just a 6-year-old. She doesn't know anything"? Because there are 6-year-olds that see things happen, and they do tell the police, and that has solved plenty of crimes.
Yeah, and I do say, I'm going to take you here, and then normally she'll be like, "No, I don't want to go here," or "No, I don't want to go there," and it happens like that. So that saying, I physically I didn't open the door and say, "Go out the door."
But we just want to know where she is, okay? And when I have a kid tells me that you took her, I have to explore that. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Okay. So she said that happened. I have to explore. I'd be doing a disservice to the entire county if I didn't explore that. Okay, we've got a missing 8-year-old. If a 6-year-old says, "Hey, Mom's girlfriend took her," and I just brush that off, then I'm not doing a good job. Okay. So yes, I am going to ask you those questions, not to be a dick or anything, but because I have to explore that. Because at that point, there's reason to believe that something may have happened. Is there not? Okay. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Okay, see, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to find an 8-year-old kid that has autism that's been missing for several hours, and we want to make sure that she comes home safe and alive if we can. Okay? And at this point, we don't know if she's safe or alive, and we want to know where she is. And if she's been hurt or something's happened, or say she's not alive, we still want to find her. That way, say if she is alive, we can help her, and if she isn't, we can provide her. Hopefully, she can get proper burial and all that. But we want to know where she is, and I'm sure her siblings would like to have that closure too if something did happen to her and she's not okay. Because the last thing they need on their conscience is my sister disappeared and I'll never know where she is. Okay. So when I have a 6-year-old, that tells me that Dad, which is you, took her and she's not coming back, and that raises some concerns, and that's something I have to explore. So with that being said, again, do you know where Nicole is?
No, I don't.
No. Did you take Nicole from home?
I did not take Nicole from home.
Did anything happen to Nicole within the last 24 hours that you're aware of that caused her any type of injury?
No.
Is Nicole alive that you're aware of?
That I'm aware of, yes.
Is she dead that you're aware of?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have any reason to believe that she would not be okay?
Well, any kid that's wandering out, I assume the worst.
Okay. Do you know anything about her whereabouts?
No, except the same thing we've been saying 20 times today. It's just the same thing. And if I'm coming off angry, it's because it's just a lot going on.
I know it's a lot going on, and I know it's late.
But that's a lot. That's really what I know. And if you personally feel like I did something, then I would definitely like a lawyer, because that's the kind of.
What do you mean if I personally feel like I'm not biased. My job is just to take the facts and explore every lead I follow. If I had some guy that called in the tip line right now and said, "Hey, I know where this kid is. This is the person who has him," even I have no clue who this dude is. I have to explore that because that's my job. If I have a kid that says that you did it, I have to explore that. That doesn't mean I believe you did it. That just means that's something I have to look into. If Zariah came out of the room right now and said the neighbor down the road took her, whether it's true or not, I have to look into it because it's a lead, a possible lead of a missing 8-year-old critically endangered child. Okay. So I'm not trying to come off.
She always hear me say, "I'm taking her somewhere, or take her for a walk, or step outside with me if I feel like she's doing too much." So that really hurts me that you interpret it that way from her, because I know she wouldn't try. I wouldn't purposely take her out, then call you to say she's missing.
And like I just said, it's nothing against you, nothing that I have against you or anything. I'm just trying to do my job. We're all tired. Trust me. I've been up early. I have little kids. They wake me up at 5 in the morning. You know, I know you've been up for a late period of time too. We got to get to the bottom, so I have to explore everything. Okay. I don't mean any offense by it. Okay. I'd like to continue talking to you about this. If you haven't committed any crimes or anything, then there's no need to get a lawyer involved. All that does is make things take a bit longer, and the longer it takes, the more likely that she could be in trouble.
Today, you guys would not be questioning me if I wasn't and call 911 for help, but I feel like I'm being interrogated. So it's like, it's just how you
We gotta, this is just what we gotta do. We gotta talk to
Well, I've been
everybody.
in this predicament before when someone murdered my mother, and they didn't come at me like this. When they sat me down, they just let me write everything, and they just went off that. But it's like, I'm just being real with you. It's like how you come at me.
Well,
I think you did this. I think you know. You just said it. I know. I think you know where she is. And it's like, if you think I know, then what are you trying to get me to say?
I'm not trying to get you to say anything. I just want to know what you know. And if you're hiding anything from me, I'd like to know that.
I'm not hiding anything. You guys are the cops. I'm not the cop.
I understand that.
So
And my
it's
job
like-
is to explore
It's like
these.
the fact that you even said
Right.
you haven't seen Nicole outside. It's like, what camera are you looking at?
I'm not talking about Nicole. I'm talking about Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany, you haven't seen Brittany outside. It's like, what camera are you looking at? She purposely went outside. Because that's when my neighbor came, opened the door and said, is everything all right? And I said,
We looked at several
"No."
cameras. She also described the woman who talked about the guy in the vehicle wearing a completely different description of clothing too. And she described her as having a different hair color also. So that raised some concerns that you both said a little bit that was somewhat similar but was completely different. And that raises concerns, okay? Because usually, in some cases, when two people are lying about something and they come up with a story, sometimes they mess stuff up. And I'm not saying that you're liars. I'm not saying that you committed a crime, but I'm saying I have to investigate it to the fullest ability, which part of it does
So it's
include
like
asking you the hard questions.
guilty until
No,
proven
it doesn't mean guilty until proven anything. No, that's not the case. We've got to explore the timeline of events.
Yeah.
We have to explore who was around the child last, and the last two people to see the child were you and Brittany. So that has to be something we look into, whether it's a difficult situation or not. I mean, it's just part of it, okay?
Nobody on the property seen it.
Look, we have to do all this,
No, I'm asking
okay?
you a question.
I'm still
You're
working
saying
on
that the
with
property you
other
guys are
officers and
investigating
stuff.
looks-
As far as my knowledge right now, she was not seen on the camera, okay? As far as my knowledge now, we have an officer who just came in with a bunch of receipts that he just spent several hours going through. We have several people working on this, okay? So we're trying to get everything figured out, okay? I'd like to continue talking to you about this. I don't want to prolong this as much as you don't want to prolong this. The moment we can find Nicole and we have this over with, is the best
I'm
thing.
not detained.
Okay,
Correct.
that's correct.
I'm not detained, so I'm free to go whenever I want to. So the fact that I'm even willing to sit with you and go through this,
Yeah, and
because I could have been a
appreciate that.
bonehead and said, oh, I'm out.
Which if you did that, then that would not be nice
But you
at all,
wouldn't know
considering
me.
you have a child.
But you wouldn't know me. You see what I'm saying? You
Okay.
wouldn't know me. But
Well,
I'm not that person.
let's get off of that, okay? Because we're not gonna sit here and argue that for the next. We have a kid that we're looking for. We have an 8-year-old child that has autism that we're trying to find, that has been missing for several hours, and we're concerned about it, and it's getting pretty cold. And it's only gonna get colder tonight. Okay, so the last thing I want is for somebody to call us in 3 days from now and say, hey, I just found a frozen dead kid in a gutter somewhere, okay? So I wanna know where she is. Is there anything on your phone that's gonna lead us to where she is or her whereabouts or anything like that?
No,
No.
I do not have.
Do you have any knowledge whatsoever about where Nicole is and what happened to her or anything like that?
No.
No, okay. Let's get back into the nitty gritty, okay? You got home at what time when you got back from your sister's?
I told you.
We gotta keep going through this stuff.
I'm gonna keep repeating it.
I'd like to make sure everything is perfect.
Okay.
That's just, look, when a kid goes missing, we gotta go over things hundreds of times. I gotta look at it 1,000 different ways, I gotta talk to people, it can get kind of annoying, I know it can be kind of stressful, I know. But there's something that's being missed here, okay? You have an 8-year-old who goes missing in a busy area,
On camera. That's
okay?
a very big deal.
Yes, so there's something that's being missed here, and we gotta figure out what's being missed, and we gotta find it, right? Because we got a puzzle, and we don't have all the pieces, correct? Okay, so that's why we keep going over it and over it and over it. Trust me, if I could interview for 5 minutes and be done, that'd be fine. If I could have you fill out a statement form, that's great, but a statement form isn't gonna allow me to ask additional questions, it's not gonna allow me to mow over everything, it's not gonna allow me to find all those pieces. Okay, you're an integral part of this investigation. Your girlfriend's an integral part of this investigation. The children are integral parts of this investigation, okay? That's what we gotta do, all right?
Which I knew when they came here, I was gonna question that part. So, that's fine.
Well, Saturday, you said you woke up, you went to the store, probably around 11 a.m. because you don't go to the store around noon. Okay, you came back. About how long do you think you were at the store that you went
I
to?
don't remember.
You don't remember? Guesstimate?
I'm
5
never,
minutes, 10
if it's a
minutes?
corner store, I'm never there for more than 10 minutes.
Never more than 10 minutes. Okay. And you come back, and when you said you came back after that, you came back to the hotel room, right? Okay.
And you walked each time to the corner store, though.
I always walk. I don't never look for anything to the corner store.
Not even at nighttime?
No.
It's just, she just likes doing it at nighttime? I
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
But the only time you rode a car Saturday is when your sister got you. Other than that, you walked.
And then I walk.
Okay. And then you go back to the BP. About how long do you think it was between the first time you went to the store and the second time you went to the store?
What time I think it was? I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Between those times, were you in the hotel room the whole time?
Yeah, I always came back to the room. If I'm
Always came
not
back to the
going
room.
somewhere quickly, I'm always coming back to the room.
Okay.
So the fact that, Zaire really said it, she probably interpreted what was going on differently.
Okay.
Because they both don't like each other.
Okay.
So,
Now, do you stay in the room full time? Like, do you live there, or do you just visit, or how's that work?
I live there with
You live there with her? How long have you guys
And
lived
then,
together?
since she got there.
Since you got there? Okay. About how long do you think that would be?
I would say going on 2-3 months, going on 3 months.
2 to 3 months. And so you go back to the hotel, you come back, but you don't remember when that was. And then you leave again for cigarettes. You said you buy Newports and you use your Vero credit card. About what time do you think that?
Cash, I don't know. Dude, you asked me like precisely stuff that running through my mind. Was running through my mind was getting caught myself and just looking.
So when you went buy cigarettes yesterday, about what time do you think you got to did you leave to go to the BP?
When I went and got cigarettes yesterday for the first time, I think it was during the day.
During the day? Do you remember how long you were there?
And there, like I said again, no more than 10 minutes. So you want me to write everything down with each question so you can just remember it?
No, I remember what you're saying. I'm just going through
Because I
everything to
really
make sure
don't
it's
like
all.
repeating myself like 5 times.
Okay, well, I really want to find this
10
8-year-old
times
child
with
too.
them.
So
Me too.
part of
Trust me,
that is
I
going
wanna
to be
get out
going
there
through this,
myself.
okay? And I understand that. So you go to the store, you buy your cigarettes, you come back. You said it's starting to get dark out when you're on your way back. You said Brittany went for snacks to the store and you assumed she took a lift. And she got snacks, and you said she got dill pickles, chips, and beer.
You want to know all the exact snacks?
Yeah, sure.
Don't know. Did you ask Brittany?
You said you don't know?
Not exactly. I know it's just dill pickle.
You know she
and
got the dill
two
pickle
peppers.
chips, and you know
I'm
she got
not
the peppers. Okay.
I didn't know people look for snacks.
Okay. And then around between 10 and 11 p.m., you get with your sister, you ride to your grandma's house, which is in Tucker, and your sister goes off wherever you're hanging out with your niece and nephew for about 4 hours. And then you come back between 4 and 5 in the morning when it's starting to get light out, correct? Okay. And you said that you noticed the door wasn't closed all the way when you got back between 4 and 5, correct?
Again, yes.
Okay. When you came in, you shut the door, and you said it doesn't matter if you lock it because she can get to the locks anyway, correct?
Yes. Like any kid over 6.
And then Brittany.
Even Zaire can do that.
Okay, but you didn't see if Nicole was actually on the bed or in the
No,
room or
they-
not. when you got back.
People don't think when they're used to seeing kids, people don't think to say, oh, look, I assumed the mother knew because she was already resting. So I didn't think to, oh, let me count how many are sleeping when I'm tired. No, coming in, resting.
We just gotta ask because you
Yeah.
come back, the door's cracked, and
I'm just
my
telling you
first
what I
concern is,
wouldn't think.
are the kids here?
Yeah.
Who cracked the door? Make sure none of the kids have run away.
Pushed in. Because I normally, like I said again, normally, sometimes you have to push in the door to fully close. Sometimes she could be doing things, dealing with them. Like I said, kids play, jump around and doing stuff. They're not calm, they're very active. So she could have just slightly, just messed up. But either way it go, if the door was closed or cracked, the door ended up being open. They are both fully capable of opening a hotel door.
Okay.
It's not like it had a lock and key latch. No, it's like a hotel. Once you pull it, it's unlocked.
Yep. All right.
So,
Now, okay, so and Brittany said she told us when she went to bed, so you got home between 4 and 5. So there's only like a 30-minute to an hour period where we don't know where the kids are.
she was not open. What camera are you looking at?
8
8 different
Eight
cameras.
cameras.
Yes.
8 cameras.
You guys, never mind. You guys probably don't even know half the stuff that goes on over there.
No, we know about a lot of stuff that goes on over there.
We've
But right now,
worked
that's
with
not our
this
concern.
department for a long
Yeah.
time.
Our concern right now is the child.
I wanted to. That's why I don't want to waste time here. I want to go actually look.
Trust me, we've got that handled. So Brittany wakes you up at 9 and tells you that Nicole's missing.
Again, yes.
Okay. And then you saw her literally leave the room and walk around. About how long do you think she was
left the
walking around
room,
for?
left downstairs. I couldn't tell you the exact milliseconds.
If you had to guess.
I don't know if it just happened today.
5 minutes, 10 minutes,
It just
20
happened
minutes.
more. Well, I'll say probably at least 5 minutes because she was already on the phone with 911. That's what she told me when she walked in. And then she was on the phone. And then the lady said he's coming out because he came super quick. He said he was around the corner.
And you said you hung out with your niece and nephew at grandma's house?
Mhm.
Okay. Was grandma awake when you got there?
No.
She wasn't, so it was just your niece and nephew?
How old were they?
Well, just my nephew.
Just your nephew?
How old is he?
They're old enough.
10, 15,
Just kids.
20?
Just kids.
Just kids?
I'm not trying to drag anybody else in. Nothing that's.
Well, look,
we're
They
gonna-
don't,
we're
they
gonna
don't
talk to
know
them
them.
regardless.
They don't know them.
Whether you tell us how old the kid is or not, we're gonna send somebody out there.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna talk to them
yeah,
anyway.
they can talk to them. Yeah.
I don't see why it's an issue telling us how old the kid is. I mean,
As I had said, that's why I just don't like repeating. But my nephew is 12. No, my nephew's 11, I believe. Yeah.
What's his
But
name?
Yeah, because my nephew was born 2010 in October, and then my niece's Journey. She was born. What is it? July 12th, 2017.
and you said only your nephew was awake when you got there to hang out with, right? Okay. And what's your nephew's name? You told us your niece's Journey. You didn't tell us
Why
your
you
nephew's name.
want to know?
Because I'd like to know who the kid that you met with.
So just be honest with me, right? Because I'm not detained. So be honest with me. You're interrogating me because, like you said from initial, I think you know where Nicole is.
I'm interrogating you because I need to figure out this information. I'm doing the same thing with Mom. I'm talking to everybody. I'd like to know your whereabouts to the fullest extent. That way, if you are involved in the disappearance of the child, we can figure that out. If you aren't, we can also give you a proper event
This
line
is not
that
proper.
explains all
This
that.
was last minute, taking kids out in the cold, and then saying, hurry up. This is ridiculous.
Well, this is how we're doing this job, and this is what
I
we need to do,
understand. I
okay?
understand.
So what's the name of your nephew?
Jacob.
Jacob, thank you.
The only reason things are in a hurry is because it's a
I know,
missing kid.
no, it's a difference between the earth. Don't get it wrong, like, oh, do all the research you want to do. Go find, go dig, go do whatever.
And part of that is talking to you.
Yeah.
And part of that is getting all this information in as much detail as we
But
can.
like I said, I've been in this predicament before, and I never sat with a guy like
Well,
this.
I don't know what other predicaments you've been in, and honestly, that has nothing to do with this exact scenario. Okay, and in this exact scenario, there's stuff that's not lining up. In this exact scenario, there's a 6-year-old child that's saying that you may have been involved in the disappearance of her sister. So that is something we do have to address. Okay,
I'm quite sure she didn't say disappearance of her sister.
we're not going to get
doesn't
into
make
the antics of it. Okay, she made a statement. Okay, and we have to address it. Okay, whether you like it or not, it is what it is. It's something we have to get into. Okay, there's a lot going on here. We're getting into your phone, okay? We're going to see the exact location of everywhere you've been. We're going to see every single text message you've sent. We've seen every single contact you've had with anybody. Okay, that's happening. That's happening right now. Okay, we're going into your hotel room. We're going to search the entire room for anything that makes any kind of sense that has to do with any of this. We're getting a search warrant for that right now as well. Okay, the little girl said that you were involved, so we need to address that. We need to see if there was any type of involvement. Okay, why would she say that she's afraid of you? Why would she say that you have a gun and that you would threaten her? Why would she say that you took Nicole?
I don't know why she said that. You would have to.
So you're just saying she's just making it up?
No, I'm not making that up. But they don't like when I get mad. But I don't get mad to the point where it's like threats and
Has it ever
stuff
gotten
like
physical?
that. No, I never.
Is there any reason why there's bruises on the children?
Don't know.
So how does... Right now, we're asking you.
You're around them just as much.
Because you also live there. You've lived there for the 2 to 3 months that they've been there. You said somebody's always home with the kids. You're home with the kids, and Brittany's not home with the kids. So we have to ask both of you, because it could have happened between the both of you. We're going to talk to the kids too. We're getting that information as well. So I'd like to know, do you know about the bruises that are on Soraya?
Yeah, I know about Zaire because sometimes Brittany doesn't want Maury, Zaire, or Kari to be around each other because Maury and Zaire wants to touch Kari. And since he's autistic, he doesn't know, like, this isn't right, this isn't this. So sometimes when I catch her doing it, I'll give her a licking. And then some of the times, it's like, it's self-involved, like some of the stuff she fell off the bed.
So when's the last time she got a licking?
Was Zaire? I couldn't tell you.
Was it within the last couple weeks?
I couldn't tell you.
No. Okay, because I think earlier, is it common to use corporal punishment? The licking? When you say licking, can you describe what you mean?
It's literally on the hand pop for me.
Hold on, okay. She's got bruises on her back.
She's got bruises on her back, her eye, her face. I mean, that's not a slap on the wrist.
Do you know how those were caused?
I really don't.
You don't?
I'm
Has
here,
mom ever?
and then I'm there, and when I question, it's like, you don't want to know what she did.
Do you think mom might be putting those bruises on her?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because if it was, I would have told her to chill.
Has she ever used like spankings or anything like that?
Like different objects,
No, just like spankings, like with her hands.
like spanking, she'll probably pop her butt, but never to that extent.
Never to that. Nothing that caused any type of injury or anything like that.
Yeah, like the level of degree that things that get when Maury's around is intense because Zaire and Maury would have back-to-back altercations. And if we go to you about it like now, we would have been the ones, oh, you're doing it. So it's like separate. And I think that's what really got to Maury because we just had to separate each and every one of them because there was too much going on that wasn't normal for kids. So that's
So
what
they
I
would
like to
fight
say.
a lot.
They would fight.
They'd
Well,
fight each
Zaire
other.
and Maury would
Zaire
fight.
and Moore would
Yeah.
fight each other.
How intense would their fights get?
It's times where Brittany will go to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden you'll see Maury yanking her hair, or it's always something. I'll say like out of 7 days a week, probably at least 5. Or Maury's jumping off the bed, it's thumping, or it's always something.
So it's pretty often.
It's a lot in a little space.
Pretty often. It's a little space, so like half the times Zaire would be in the bed with us, or Maury would be way over there, and the Kari would be in the cabin. Yeah.
Has Zaire mentioned like a napkin that makes people go to sleep? Do you know what she's talking about?
A napkin? No, I don't.
You said it was kind of big and had like some black stuff on it. I don't know what she mentioned, but
She's probably talking about one of her mom's spiritual candles.
she has spiritual candles.
Probably. Because it's like aromatic, and then she puts on soothing music.
She's almost talking about almost like a cloth or something that
A cloth?
used to make
So
them
she's
fall
like
asleep.
a napkin cloth type.
No,
not a
but you
candle.
guys can search it for that too?
No.
No, that's not true. A cloth, no. To put somebody to sleep, no.
What's your relationship like with Zaire?
My relationship with Zaire is better now. Well, things was getting better because her and Maury stopped really like fighting. Like they literally were fighting. And it's like if we went to the hospital for something like that, I'm going to say it, we're black people going to assume the worst. I'm going to say it. So it's like we're trying to self-treat it at home because it's like, who can we go to for help with Maury having behavioral problems like this, and then she can't get along with people in regular school. So now it's like we have the home teacher. So it's like it'll be fighting. They don't. Maury absolutely doesn't like Zaire. Like she'll get along better with Kari versus Zaire. Why, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still getting to know them.
Do you feel like Zaire is friendly with you, or does she feel like she's afraid of you, or?
I don't think she's afraid of me, but like any child, if they see a parent mad or they did something bad and the parent yells, "Hey!" Yes, they're gonna get scared. But like fear for her life, no.
Has she ever seen your gun?
No.
How does she know you have a gun?
She probably heard me talking about it when I pick it up, because she's very observant.
Okay.
Yeah.
But has there been any incidents where you said
No,
anything?
no.
You ever gotten any like physical fights with Brittany in front of the
No,
kids?
check my record. Oh, you talking about physical fights in front of kids? With
Yeah.
Brittany? No, you won't see one scratch on Brittany.
Do you and Brittany argue a lot at home, or
Yeah, we have arguments like typical parents.
normal?
Because you know how kids can get, oh, you're yelling at mommy, I don't like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
she
trying to
did
wonder
say
about
that
the
before.
relationship
She did say that
with
before.
you and Zaire.
She said, she's like, don't make mommy cry, because we had an incident where it was me posting something, and Brittany got really mad about whatever I had posted, and it went from there. But yeah, Zaire come to me and she'll say, "Dad, I don't like the way you did that." And I'll be like, "I'm sorry, I know."
She give you hugs and stuff?
Yeah.
No problems?
If she had fear of me, she wouldn't be home me walking in here.
No, I understand. So y'all have a pretty good relationship.
It's decent. It's getting better.
Okay.
Not that.
You ever take them anywhere, give them treats or anything?
Yeah, I go snacks. I go grocery shopping all the time. You'll see me in Publix, run the camera back. You'll see me in Publix all the time. So Publix, Holcomb Bridge, Peachtree Grove. You'll see me. I grocery shop all the time. You'll see me coming out with a big cart.
I'm not denying you don't go grocery shopping there.
I'm just saying, because I really feel like this is ridiculous.
Those are the only time we're talking about something. I keep kicking your feet.
Look, me personally, if my kid went missing, I'd want the detectives. I'm fine. If they want to grill me for 3, 4, 5 hours, and I know I had nothing to do with it, that's fine. I just know we're trying to do our job because we're trying as hard as we can to find this kid. Because if something hasn't already happened to her, we want to prevent something from happening to her, because she's 8, she has autism, and she has to take medication, and she's by herself.
Mhm.
Okay? So the sooner we find her, the sooner we can hopefully guarantee that she's safe. So
Like I
if
said,
we're
I
gonna
don't
come off
mind
the sticks,
asking
it is what it
questions.
is.
It's not his job, because I'm not detained. So that's why you should treat people with the utmost respect.
And
Especially
I'm
if
doing
I'm
that.
not
However, I
detained.
do have to investigate all the leads thoroughly. And if I have a kid saying that you may be involved, then I have to address that.
Mhm.
Okay? And if it gets like that, it's just going to get like that, because that's part of what I have to figure all this out. Okay?
Did Zaire get in
Nothing
trouble
against you.
recently?
Did she get in trouble recently? The only thing I remember was her falling off the bed when she slides off, because she's a wild sleeper.
Yeah.
So sometimes she's hanging here and sometimes
Sure,
not. And
yeah,
the dresser is right here and this is right there. So at times we'll place her in the middle of the bed, but she'll still roll.
Throughout the night, she'll scoot over.
She'll still roll.
But she wasn't like grounded or anything recent, was she?
Recently, no. She
Anything
wasn't
taken
on
away?
When she called her little brother a bitch, yes, we did tell her no TV, no toys.
What was that?
That was like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay. Other than that, did she get any snacks last night?
Snacks? No.
Because I know that Nicole or Amari was asking for snacks, and she was told no. I didn't know if maybe
Mhm.
Zaire got snacks and
Because
stuff.
they know they can't eat snacks after they had a meal. It's too late for one. And two, I don't know if you know about autism, you can't have gluten because it messes with the brain.
Yeah.
So she definitely cannot have snacks at night. And sugar, both her and Cara can't have sugar, nothing like that.
Were you home for dinner last night or no? Or were you?
I went home for dinner.
No, that's when you went to go help your sister the first time.
Mhm.
That's right.
I didn't eat nothing, so whatever she
I was just
we
wondering what
eat
y'all
totally
happened
two
to
different
have
meals.
What type of medication does Nicole take? Do you know?
No, you have to ask the mother.
Do you know about how often she takes it?
I'm not the, I would say twice a day.
Twice a day? Do you know
But I
what
don't
all
think she
she...
necessarily needed it, because there was a time she did miss it
Think it's
for like
just
3
in
days and
case.
she was fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what all she took with her when she left?
No.
No.
Oh, the teddy bear, and that's about it.
Just
But money wasn't missing or anything
nothing
else.
else? No. Any specific clothing missing?
No. Matter of fact, all the clothes had need to be washed. And we so regular at, because Maury constantly pees on herself, so we're constantly getting an outfit, throwing it away, and then getting another outfit and throwing it away and stuff like that. So we stay getting them outfits.
Is there anywhere specific you think she would go?
No. The only place I thought was McDonald's.
Just
Because
McDonald's?
she always asking me about McDonald's. And I get it for her.
So like Amori, like the hardest one to deal with, just because of her like
It was
always have to
Maury
clean
and
herself
Zaire.
and
Amari and Zaire were the two hardest ones to do
Yeah.
because they were constantly bash. And like I said, you know what's going on in America. We didn't feel like at this time it would be appropriate to, because we both was like, no, they might flip it on us if we say something that they absolutely did. Like it happened to my friend before. She absolutely didn't do anything. But
Bring her back.
yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I can understand the hesitation. We go to schools all the time. Kids be showing up with little marks. I mean, I got little kids. I get nervous when he falls.
And those aren't little marks. That's like
Because they bruise and they get cut over the dumbest thing ever. Because kids are clumsy. And yeah, I would hate
You
for
couldn't explain
somebody.
that from two girls fighting.
Like I said, I mean, especially their size. I mean, it's not hard to say they were fighting. I mean, look at my kids are still too small, but I got 7 brothers and sisters. We fought a lot. There's a lot of marks. There's a lot of bruises.
Yeah, sometimes Maury gets jealous of Kari because, Brittany involves herself more with Kari, dealing with him and stuff.
Just because his level of autism is just a little bit like more.
I'd say it's different because autism is a rainbow, literally like a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Maury, you wouldn't know she's autistic until you just sat down and had like a full conversation.
Yeah, we'd have to have like a one-on-one for a hot minute to realize, well, wait a minute, maybe she's not catching something here.
Because she'll respond every time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what do you say his name was?
Jacob.
What do you? Because you call Nicole Amari, and then we got Zaire. What do you call Jacob?
Just Jacob.
You just call him Jacob? I think you said something else.
It's Jacob and Johnny.
No, not your niece and nephew.
You talking about Zaire?
Zaire's brother.
What about Carter? Or sometimes baby boy.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. He's pretty energetic out there for sure. Okay. So we just.
Like I said, if I was damaging, I think a child would be standoffish and fear me. She wouldn't want to come with me. She'd be like, I'm
Well,
gonna
that's
go
what I was
home.
wondering about y'all's relationship and stuff. It's like, if you're truly, if you're the, sometimes in relationships, couples, one person's style of parenting is verbal, the other style is you're the enforcer. It's usually how it is. So that's why I was wondering. I was like, does one of you do like I'm gonna do the talking. If dad gets involved, like in my case, I'm usually the one that might spank the kid's butt. My wife's the one who might usually talk to them. I have a different approach. I think spanking the butt gets the point across. So I didn't know if that was y'all's style or if y'all have a different parenting style. Everybody's got different parenting style.
We spank the butt in the hand. But most of the time when it's fighting, and even when we break them up, we're like, whose fault is it? Who did it?
Yeah.
And it's like, kids also lie as well. So it's like, I'm not going to believe everything that flies out of kids' mouth.
No, you got to do what we do. We got to talk to everybody and be like, all right, whose story makes the most sense? And usually they tell 80% truth, but then they kind of exaggerate a couple parts to make them look better or stuff like that. I did the same thing with my brother. We're only a year and a half apart. All we did was fight. So my parents talked about how much we fought and how annoying we were. We'd be fighting at 4 a.m. They trying to sleep, and all they hear on the outside of the house is us waking up and going at it. So I can only imagine that small little room. If they do something, we sleep in here, the bed's right there. It ain't that far. All you have is that little nightstand in the middle. So it definitely isn't far away.
It's definitely on the butt in the hand. Brittany don't really do anything. And like I said, it'll be hard to explain if we, gotta keep them from fighting because he'll start yelling and be like, no, I don't want to. He'll have attitude too. Keep waiting, you'll see it. So it's like, Maury and Zaire definitely always go head to head because Maury hated when Zaire told her what to do. And Kari doesn't like when Zaire tells him what to do. So it's times I have to pop him, or, on the hand or on the butt. I have to pop him and say, no, you don't hit girls. I don't put a look on Brittany, go touch her body. You're going to find a bruise mark and not touch my woman.
No, see no marks on. That's why sometimes we get it where they'll, what's the word? Kids will see step parent or whatever beating up on mom. Well, then they really hate that person. That's their mom. Oh my God, nobody can hurt mom. That's why I was like, how long have you been
She never seen me touch her mother.
That's what I'm saying. And Brittany's never said anything. They didn't say anything about you going after her. So that's why I do not believe at all that he would ever go physical hands on her. Which is good. You got respect for yourself, respect for her. That's good. So it's just we're talking to y'all so much. You're the last few people that probably within, as you guys say, y'all don't get out very much.
You said someone in the neighborhood said they saw her, right? You just like.
So yeah, they're again, this is an officer coming to me. I didn't speak to this witness.
Yeah.
There was somebody that was like, hey, yesterday, whether that was Saturday or Friday, they didn't specify. I'm pretty sure I saw that girl walking in the parking lot. That's why I was asking. I was like, hey, does she ever just get out? Kids get out. It happens all the time. You turn around, my 3-year-old is down the hallway in my room, like this. That's what kids do. And like if they're big enough to open that door, all it takes is somebody in the bathroom or in the kitchen and out the door. That's why I was like, hey, has she ever snuck out or something? Kids that age, they start to, test the limits. How much can they get away with? How far can they go? Okay, I got here last time, let me go here. At what point is too far? That's all kids do. That's their whole purpose, is to test our patience. They're very good at it. So that's why I was like, hey, She ran away before? Has she bounced? Has she been hanging out in the parking lot? Did she
never-
get down the stairwell?
She
But
never ran away before.
well, that's what I'm saying. Y'all were very adamant. Like, no, she doesn't leave us. She's not a wanderer or anything like that. When you pay, do you have like on this thing, you know how you double click, boom, Apple Pay? Do you have that on your other phone or no? Or do you actually have like that physical card?
I have the physical.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I lose my wallet so many times that I took a picture of my driver's license. I got it all saved on here. So you wouldn't have walked to the gas station and been like, boo boom. Or,
No.
okay.
Like I said, everything's a blur. They got my statement. That's it. If they want anything else from me, I will have to be representing my wallet.
That's fine. I understand.
Because this is ridiculous.
Can-
I really feel chastised. Like,
I don't want you.
But this, why would she, the same reason kids will say a bunch of things. Even I lied on my mother as a kid.
No,
So
whatever
it's like-
kids say, regardless of how far-fetched it is, we gotta ask.
Yeah.
Because I would hate for, not her, but we get another kid who's accusing uncle of touching him or something. 'Cause that's mainly what we specialize
Yeah,
in.
because I got touch card before.
And then all of a sudden we just go, kids will be kids. Meanwhile, that kid's being a victim, and we just blew it off because it's a kid.
Yeah.
We gotta take it as is and then explore it.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is because there ain't gonna be no photos, witnesses, cameras. It's just gonna be talking. Me asking you, well, what's up? What's going on? Why would they say this? Did you do something? Did something happen?
So Brittany left because I heard her go down.
No, she's still here.
So why she move rooms?
We got our other room right there where we like upload our cameras and stuff. There's a door, and then the playroom's right there. She better still be here.
I thought she walked out and I thought I was next.
No, they didn't. They did not say they didn't. Can we go? Can you give us consent to just look through your phone?
No.
No. Okay.
I feel like you guys want to get too much family to try, and then my family's gonna raise depression, and that's gonna be another, villain and and it's like, oh my gosh, these cops are going way over there because they think it's me. So.
You think we're with your family? You
Like chest out, interrupt what they're doing. Like I don't really.
You gotta call. Oh, you might have to call tonight. The only reason, if this was like a different style case, like hey, 6 months ago so and so touched me or something, hey, we'll call you in the morning or something like that. But at the end of the day, it's 50 degrees out and we're getting colder. The longer we wait to talk to people, the less time we have. It could have been she slipped over here, jumped in the car, tried to chase you out the parking lot. There could be 100 million things. Okay, so to go through your phone, you want us to just get a search warrant then? You don't mind if we just look through it real quick? It'd be way faster.
You have to have a probable cause for a search warrant. I'm not a probable cause.
No. I'm not pressuring. We can just have it signed. I was just asking, but that's fine.
I'd rather have a lawyer before you go through my phone.
Oh, well, okay. So we're just gonna go through your phone. I was just asking if we could just sign the consent. It just speeds it up.
What's the consent if you're gonna force him to do it? What's the point of the consent?
No. So it's literally just a piece of paper where it says I, which would be you, give detective me consent to go through my phone, and then they plug it in and get all the data. If not, we go to the magistrate court judge and we just ask for a search warrant based on our probable cause statement, and then he signs it or doesn't sign it.
Sure.
Sure to which part? I'm sorry.
You gotta have a real probable cause. I feel like you just want to go through just to call everybody on the phone.
It's fine. If you don't want to give consent, that's fine. I'm not gonna.
What's the point of consent if you guys will do it anyway? There's no point.
Well, because this way, just like I said, it's just faster. That's all it was.
So you're gonna take me to court just to say, hey, can I go to your phone?
No. Not take you to court. No, we just get a search warrant. Nowadays we just video chat it with the judge, and we'd be like, hey, judge, here's my search warrant, here's my affidavit, here's my probable cause statement on why I believe information on this phone will help me in this manner. And this reason, because of all this, I believe I have probable cause to get this search warrant. So we will go that route. So I don't force you in anything. I'll go work on that. Just hang out. And I'll make sure that she doesn't left. What?
I said I'll make sure I sign it. I'll sign it to go ahead. If
The consent part?
that makes you guys tap dance.
I don't know what captain means. What do you? I'm so confused. We
That
can
makes
tap
you
in.
guys happy.
That's not making me happy. That's just a question. See, consent to.
Normally when
search.
people call about something, cops do their thing and go all about, but
And normally when we get calls about kids going, what do you have? Is it iPhone 10, 12, 15,
iPhone 10.
10? It's a black or gray.
Black.
10. You had a case on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you to write your first and last name here, capital X, like they do when you go buy a house or something. There, sign it, and then for the 500th time, write your name again.
Someone full name or initial.
No, full name right there. The only part you sign is that other box right there.
Correct.
The top one you sign, yes.
On top of the box or in the box?
In the box, sorry. I know, very confusing. And if you don't mind writing your name. Okay. And you say your password was February 10th, 2019. Is that the anniversary?
2/10/2019, yeah.
So just 6 digits, or is it like 8? Like, is it actual 2019?
02/10/19.
Okay. I'm glad they just do numbers. I had some people do like whole catchphrases and stuff, 36 letters. Okay, we'll go do that. All right, we'll give that to Al then. We'll be back. Thank you. Let's get this over with.
This is ridiculous, man.
The problem is we have so many moving parts, so many people I gotta talk to. It's okay. Okay, so I just want to talk to you away from her, separate me.
Yes.
That's
All
it.
I'm saying is, just to clear things, I am discombobulated. I cannot give you exact times. If you feel like I wanted the BP that time, run the camera back to the BP where you saw me with this hat. Or my neck. Run it back to there. But it's like, I cannot sit here. How you approach people to try to get something out of someone. You don't approach people like that to try to get something out of someone because you think so. Then why would a little girl this? Why would a little girl? I'm telling you everything that's going on. And then when we come for help, you don't really get help. That's why a lot of people do things and just don't call the cops and handle it their own way. Because it can flip, just like what it did today. Like my dad always told me, anything can flip with cops. So it just pisses me off because I've been out all day. I've been answering you respectfully all morning. Respectfully all morning. Then I get here and I'm in the room that I've never been in before that I've seen on First 48 and being chastised with questions trying to make me, I think you did it. As soon as he said that, it broke me to the core. Because if I did it, I damn sure wouldn't be in that hotel. I would be going on the run.
Yeah, no, like I said, you stuck around. You talked.
I stuck around and I talked, and he's telling my daughter, I'll be here. Dude, that's you. But I know with me, when the police said they looked, okay, I'm going to look too. I'm not going to be here all night answering the same questions, not no new questions, these same questions. And oh, it's not adding up with Brittany. At the end of the day, that's Brittany's daughter. I'm not even the real biological father. None of me is on paper with them, with those kids. They don't have my last name, nothing.
Yeah.
So why should my things just be ran through? Where you been here? Why you been driving here? Why was this over here? Why was that over? I'm not going to keep answering that. I'm not a cop. If I wanted to be one, I would have been wearing that badge easily. I have no record. Easily become a cop. I know it is. I know you guys ran me. I'm clean. There's nothing on me. I'm a good citizen. And I'm not going to sit up here and open the door and let my fucking girlfriend, daughter run out. I'm not going to do that. Now I'm going to take better protocols and get a camera for my kids. But it's messed up, man. I just want to go get our phone because we have to pay our room the next day. We work day by day to pay the room. And it look even more messed up. We coming back from cops containing us all day. And now we got to hustle up. We don't have family like that. I told you I'm the black sheep of the family. So is she.
Yeah.
That's why we're sticking together and we're trying to work this out. We thought we could trust you guys. That's why we called you. We didn't call you to be chastised. We called you for help, not to be brought out of our homes immediately with our kids in pajamas. That's messed up. So how long for the phones? Because we have to work.
I just have a couple more questions, and then,
questions?
that's all I got for you.
What questions, man?
Okay, but I do have to read you this card like you see on the movies and TVs and all that stuff. The Miranda thing. Didn't have it. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice. Before you ask any questions, and have a lawyer with you during questions.
All these statements they're accusing us of is jumble. You can't just take a statement for someone that's frantic for someone missing, then say, oh, these are not adding up. I couldn't even tell you when the fuck my last period was. I can't tell you. Then he's saying going back Wednesday. I really can't tell you. Once I move on to the next day, that's it. I cannot tell you exactly. Man, if I was a psychic, I could tell you exactly the day, but I'm not. I don't know the exact times. I just know me and her are always going to the store. Then we're staying together. Then I'm leaving or I'm coming back. I cannot tell the exact time all the time. Who can? Well, only cops. There's nobody. I really feel like I'm test studies. Just read me the questions. I know all that stuff.
If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. You understand each of these rights that I've explained to you?
Yeah, I know I'm not talking all that stuff.
Okay. Like I said, just read it. Okay, so I'm gonna make it very quick so we don't beat that old school. Don't beat it that worse. You sister can't reach up at midnight-ish.
I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna.
Each question about time,
Okay,
I'm not sure.
let's
So
get rid of
really,
time.
I'm really not.
When she got back from the store, then you went to your sister's. Sometime last night. I'm not worried about it. He was worried about specific time. I'm not. But all we know is it was after she got back because we don't want the kids alone. Sister picks you up in boyfriend's car. We don't know who the boyfriend is though. It's a black car. Drops you off.
I'm assuming because it was dark.
It was dark, black, gray. It was a dark car. It wasn't shiny red.
I'm
It wasn't Ferrari red or anything. No. So then she takes you down to your grandma's house, the one that's on your address, that really long I word that I'm gonna butcher.
Yeah, but I really don't mess with. Like I told you, I don't mess with the family.
No.
So all I'm gonna tell you is, because I know this is where you're going with the questions, so I'm gonna tell you right now. Everything I told you is not exact because I'm running off 3 hours of sleep. My daughter's missing. I don't give a fuck about times where the last place I was. If you feel like that, take the goddamn the places. I thought I was safe there because it was flooded with cameras. But now it's like, oh shit, we definitely got to move now because open the door, going. And then we told you guys, she's very bright. She's not your regular autistic. She's very smart. She knows 1 + 1, 10 + 10, 10 times 10. She's very smart. What makes her autistic is just paying attention. She really can't really focus. But when she knows it's serious and it's time, she knows. She's very bright. Yeah, and she knows how to maneuver. Now, I know more. She's a very good, I think there's more. She's a very good child. But she just have her ways and different things. But it's like when does have a way, she tends to do things. And the things she chose to do, like me and the young fellow was talking about when he was asking me questions about certain more things happen. And then if I would have called you guys for that, you would locked us up because, we don't believe that kids fight. We don't believe kids do that. So it makes me not want to ever call the police again because like I might as well take matters in my own hands or hire a private investigator. Like I wanted to do today. I said, babe, if they can't actively find today, when we get up on money, we're going to hire a private investigator to also help. That's what we're gonna do. But now we just feel like we're chastised, and it's totally not fair. So to end all your questions, all of those times, it's really not accurate. I would prefer you to ask me really in my right mind. The information I gave you, the information she gave you, when she woke up, she was not there. That's it. You can flip the bed. You guys check the bed 10 times. Go flip it again. We give you permission to go in there. If you guys asked us, but you guys kept coming in, which you know you gotta have warrant to come in anyway, but we opened the door and let you come in. So it's like, just have some respect for it. It's like, come on, we wouldn't be calling you for help if I would have just got away with it if that was the case. But no, we called for help. I said, babe, yes, do the right thing. I was just as mad as her. We both were crying, break it down. I said, babe, let's pull it together because Zahir doesn't like to see us cry. Then they ask questions and they want to know. And how am I explaining that to my 5-year-old son is autistic? It was really, he's 2 in the mind. Yeah. So it's too much. And they're going to ask about this all night.
Last time, you went to your grandma's house. I'm not even worried about
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. That's my final answer. I don't know. That's my final answer. No, I don't know. Because my family is not involved in this. They don't even know. They don't even know their names. None of their names. They don't know them. I don't communicate with my family. Like the only people I deal with is my niece and nephew. And that's why I told you as the mother of them is Diamond Alexis Owens. Your sister. That's my sister. Yeah. They're the only people I deal with. But I'm not going to get them involved in something and I'm asking for help and y'all reaching out to people in my family that have this, that really don't give us 2 shits about Brittany. They don't. So I just want to get our stuff and we go. And if you guys can, keep looking, okay, keep looking. We never said stop. Hell, we're going to figure out stuff too because she has police in her family. Yeah. So I'm quite sure she's going to reach out to them too. We're not just going to sit back and let this ride. No, that's not us. But I'm trying to be the strongest now because I don't want my kids to see that I'm weak. I'm a very strong woman. If I do something, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to sit up here and open the door and let my child run out. I'm not that person. At all. And if you guys want to go in there and ask neighbor after neighbor after neighbor after neighbor, then go ask each neighbor. Because I wouldn't open no goddamn door for no 8-year-old to run out there and I know she got a mental condition. I wouldn't fucking do it. But I thought I could trust you guys, but we being chastised for no reason. And it's not right. Because if I did want your help, we wouldn't have called you. We would have said we'll figure it out together. And this is my first time ever encountering dealing with a police. I have nothing on my record. Nothing. I'm 29 years old. Nothing. So why am I, I think you did it. Bruh, go pull up my record. There's nothing on there. What are you trying to pin me for? There's nothing on me. I never murdered nobody. I never had anything with, no altercation with no police. Nothing. But you want to sit here and say, I think you did it. Because of what my little girl said. She's 6. The minute she sees me and her mother argue, she breaks down crying. That's why we don't argue in front of her. So now I feel like if I have another issue, I can't confide in Gwinnett County. I just need to move to another goddamn county. So that's that, man.
Do you don't know why you said you were with your nephew and sister?
I don't know why. I don't have nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. All I want is for them to keep looking like they say they were looking, and then we're going to do what we need to do on our end as parents. But y'all not going to try to piece together and try to flip things. Well, we got to pin somebody. No, you're not going to do that to me. Everything I said, I don't damn know. Everything is discombobulated because we're frantic. Duh, people know that. I'm not going to sit up here and ask somebody 100 questions that reached out for help. I'm going to tell them to write a statement, everything you know, and I'm going to go off that, go to the precinct, and I'm going to run it. I'm not going to send 30, 50, 100 cops to ask the same question when they're supposed to protect the community. I'm not going to do that. If I wanted to kick my daughter, I would just took her to, or she would have took her to a place for kids where, you know, kids go, what is it, CPS, or somebody would have took it for a place for kids or something. But I wouldn't just open the door for 9-year-olds to just walk out and just, why would I do that? That's inhumane, and I have no record. I can see if I was a criminal, and then y'all question me, and it's like, okay, you know, they're a criminal, they did stuff before, but no, I have nothing. Go run me again. I have nothing on, there's nothing on me.
Record's clean. I know that. You got clean history. Never had problems with police.
Never. And she's trying to get her life right, because she's on BO, she's trying to get her life right, and it's like, man, all this is like, all I'm trying to do is bring my family back together, and we get up out of the hotel, we get our house that we're working for. But this is inacceptable. Let me grab their phones because this is this. Because I knew when you kept coming to me asking questions, I said, they're going to probably think I did it because of probably how I look. Yeah, I probably look like, I know you don't want to say it, but I know you're thinking it. And she probably does look like a criminal. She tapped up on her neck. That's what most people in jail have. But I'm not. You saw I got these at 17. I'm 29. I wouldn't open the door, sir, and just let my daughter go. If I seen that, trust me, I would have ran her down and grabbed her, installed cameras, and got better locks. But we never thought she'd do that, because if she did it before, we would have definitely took better protocol.
What?
But to bring my family and Tucker, we don't even speak like that. The only person I communicate is my sister. And then when I do go with my sister, I'm saying hey and bye to grandma. They're not going to tell you anything. Even if you ask them, oh, I have Celeste, they're not going to tell you anything because they don't really agree with me.
Well, why would you bring him in and say that your sister?
Because he asked me a question, and I thought you guys was helping me, till I realized I'm being chastised and they're trying to detain me.
So you just made it up? Or?
I didn't make anything up. I don't know anything. I'm discombobulated, remember?
So you don't remember?
I prefer to be in a better peace of mind. See, this is how you go about things. You get the information for that missing child that night. Now, sometimes I did expect you guys to find her. I really did. But sometimes things don't go that way. So what I did expect was you guys to give a courtesy call and say, hey, I would like for you guys to come to the station, whatever. Then I would have had the kids picked up by someone to go. I'm not going to tell you all my business through my daily life. Why? Because I feel like I'm being chastised. So I'm not going to open up to somebody that's hounding me. No, if you would have asked me all this home, cool, but you brought me to the station and said, oh, we're going to write a statement. I haven't wrote one damn thing.
Well, you didn't tell me at the house. You just said you come and go.
Because I do come and go, but I'm discombobulated now. Everything I'm saying is not going to make sense. Everything she's saying is not going to make sense because we feel attacked. So you really can't really go off anything but the fact that she's not there, and we need to find her. Not she's not there. Take both the parents because Brittany didn't even go outside. That's a bull-faced lie. She went outside. Go get the cop that came first.
We have to. So earlier we were relaxed about it.
He set it off for me, and then I came out the door and I asked for water.
I understand when you got set off.
And I told you guys both here, I'm not detained. I'm not nothing.
I was just asking, why would you be so adamant? Again, because you want to keep your family out of this. But you were so adamant to be like, my sister came and picked me up after she came back with the snacks and went to bed. This way the kids aren't alone. Your sister came and picked you up, but she does her own thing. But you don't care if your sister says, hey, I'm going to pick you up or something. It's your sister. You do whatever she says.
Or even sometimes she comes through and she says,
yeah,
hey,
sometimes she
family. Like, that's like, asking me that don't matter. Like, why does that matter when a child is missing? Why does it matter when I'm getting picked up?
Why would you tell us that you went to this house and spoke to your nephew for 4 hours and your sister brought back when we know that didn't happen?
Because I came back, it did happen. Because I came back.
So we've spoken to
We've spoken about it, but I'm saying
your
the fact that you're trying
nephew,
to...
Your dad, everybody, and nobody's seen you in months. Your nephew, your dad, nobody's seen you in months.
Nobody's going to tell you.
Your sister said
nobody's going to tell you because they know you're a cop. That's what I'm telling you. My sister's on PO. She's not going to talk to you.
But
so it's like, but my sister's on PO. She's not going to give you what you want to hear. That's what I'm saying. I said you can't run off that.
Why would she lie about it?
I don't know.
You
want to go bring her in?
That would be worse for her to lie about it. You see what I'm saying?
Dude.
It doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense that you're calling my family to get involved.
It is. If a kid goes missing overnight, and then you go somewhere overnight and bring in these people, and these people go, I ain't never seen you. Well, now we have a kid going missing overnight, and we have you going missing overnight.
I didn't go missing overnight. I'm missing. I'm here.
You said you left,
but I'm here.
your sister said you didn't. People come back all the time. People that burn down houses, you know what they do? They go show up when the house is being burned down.
Yeah.
They try to
so
get on
you do
the
it, then
news.
you guys went through our phone and called and do all that stuff. But the guy said as soon as we stepped out the door, you couldn't do that.
Well,
So what stories are y'all
giving
giving
me?
me?
Search warrant for your phone. What do you mean we can't do that? Probable cause 51%. We have probable cause all day.
I just want our phone. So
Well, I know, but you're not getting your phone. Well, you gotta stay seated.
for what?
Well, you're not allowed to leave.
How am I allowed to leave?
Well, I'm telling you, you're not allowed to leave.
Why am I being detained?
Yes, you are being detained.
How?
You're getting charged for law obstruction, giving false statements. You're not allowed to leave. So
I'm
you
getting
can sit
charged for
down.
law statements.
You can sit down. Or I
I'm
can
not
have the
being
officer.
detained.
Well, listen, I'm telling you, you are. So either you can sit down and relax.
So we're both being detained.
No, you are being detained.
I'm being detained
Yes,
because someone didn't see me. So now y'all want to know where
People
someone see
didn't
me.
see you. Multiple people that honestly are in your corner. You can't even say they're a biased witness because they're not helping you out. It would be different if they were trying to say, "Oh yeah, she for sure was here." Then it's like, okay, well they said she was
So
here.
now
You're
you're
good.
detaining me and trying to lock me
And
up.
then you told me that I was discombobulated when you were calm earlier. You were fine.
No, I wasn't.
Right now, obviously, yeah, you're a little combobulated, but earlier you were fine. You were sitting there talking
Because I feel
to us.
like you guys was helping us. That's all. That's really all. I feel like
As
you
I
guys
tell
was helping
people,
us.
especially in my job, you know who I care about? I care about the kids most.
So how
People's
long am I
beat,
being
I don't-
detained?
Well, you gotta go over to the jail.
You're gonna take me to jail?
I told you you're being charged with false statements. So I said you're not free to leave. You're being calm for the most part. I don't see need to wrap you up in handcuffs or
And I tell
anything.
them lie.
Well, yeah, when we go out there, we'll tell them about it. I promise. I ain't gonna be no
So
asshole.
now you're gonna send me to jail till I have a court date.
I mean, that's how it works, yeah. It doesn't make sense for you to bring in your family when you were really adamant about not bringing them in, but for you to put them in that position, knowing, and we told you this, knowing we're gonna talk to them. That's what he did. He left to go talk to them. Because now we have a kid gone overnight and you saying you left overnight. She said you left. She didn't see who you went to. She just figured you went with your sister. But now none of them said they went to. And it wouldn't make sense for your sister to lie, especially if you don't feel, because that's not going to help her case. Because she's going to have to go to court. And she can't lie in court. So it don't make sense for her to lie. It don't make sense for your little
So
nephew
you're
to
gonna
lie.
hold me in jail until I get a court date
That's what I said,
and
yes.
do what you need to do.
Until I find this girl. That is all I care about. Your beef with whoever, beef with family, beef with your girl, I don't care about none of that. I care about her who's missing. That's it. That's all I care about. And until I find her, I ain't gonna sleep. We're gonna find her. There's about 50 other cops and detectives out here working. You've seen us all running around. And there's even more still out on the road down there west side. We ain't stopping until we find her.
Congratulations. Well, you already think I did it anyway.
I think you know where she's at.
I know you think so. But okay.
I know, I just said it.
We'll just go to court and we'll deal with it that way.
Okay, that's the other route. I just want to know where she's at.
Go search.
That's what we're doing. You could help us out. If you care about this family like you say you do, you would help us out. Either you don't care about
I
her.
answered every question you had, so I'm gonna go to court and I'm gonna feel chastised because y'all were chastising me.
I'm just asking the question.
But you guys are chastising me. Now you're saying I'm being detained. I'm not being detained.
Well, no, so you call it what you want. You're not free to leave. Detained.
Because it's like it's somebody. The
It's
most
like what?
probable one is like it's somebody.
Let's not get somebody.
And here you are trying to smooth talk me out the hotel. Oh, bring her and bring the kids. Come on, so we can question her. Yeah, because you're a piece of shit. And I have nothing else to say. I just want to see my girl and them before I go, and that's it. Go and take me
And I'll
down.
still let you do that.
Go and take me down. And do what you do. Take me to court. Bring up what you need to bring up, and I get over.
Okay. Well, like I said, before we leave, I'll make sure they say bye to you.
I can do it now. Just
Well,
see
you
them.
can hang out here, and I'll make sure that it's okay. I don't see an issue with it, but again, I'll double check that it's all right. You say bye, and then we'll have one of the uniform guys take you over there. All right?
Well, you think I'm gonna run off?
Well, no, just because they got handcuffs and
Come on,
stuff.
let's get this right
I don't
over
have
with.
any of that. So,
Come on.
all right.
Judge, may I make a suggestion?
May-
Okay, I think at this point it may be beneficial to go ahead and break for lunch if the court is so inclined, and then we can come back and continue at that point.
Y'all ready for lunch? Okay. All right, it is 1:28, so I'm gonna ask you 1:30, 2:30. Do you think an hour and 15 minutes is enough time for you guys to drive out and get food and come back? Don't everybody talk at once? Okay. So if you guys could be back in jury assembly at 2:45. And is everybody good with going today until maybe 5:30? 6?
Yes.
All right, good. Remember, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, leave your pads in your seats. Don't talk about it. Don't look up anything about it. Don't drive by anything about it. Everything about this case stays in this courtroom until you're released to do so, okay?